I think we should be live, and by we for now, I mean me. John has not joined me yet, guys. It's just me for now. But the Cincinnati Bengals are officially on the clock. They've got 9 minutes left to pick, but it seems like this pick was made a little while ago. It seems like Joe Burrow has been the guy that they have been pretty much dead set on. Probably for longer than most people even realize. I'm guessing they've probably been locked in on Burrow since February, maybe the Senior Bowl, if I had to guess. I do personally have Tua Tagovailoa as the number one quarterback on my board, but I do have Burrow as number two, and really the gap between the two of them is minuscule. It's really a matter of whether you would prefer a reliable sort of high ceiling, high floor guy that's probably going to be good, low bust chance, but like he doesn't have as high of a ceiling versus the higher ceiling, but also potential injury concerns with Tua. To me, I would rather have Tua because I do think he has the higher ceiling than Burrow. I think that he can, in his sort of best possible outcome is better than Burrow's best possible outcome. I think Tua comps very well to a guy like a Deshaun Watson or a Russell Wilson, whereas Burrow, again, I do like, but I comp him more to like an Andrew Luck or even like a Tony Romo. I think that they both have a lot of similar pros. I think that they're both very mobile. Both are very athletic. Both have good arms, but not elite arms. Both are very accurate. I think personally, Tua, and I think that this is going to be something that's probably kind of controversial because I think people feel this way about Joe Burrow, but to me, Tua is the best quarterback prospect since Andrew Luck. And the reason I say that is because he is a guy who has just absolutely lit it up since day one as a freshman. He literally showed up on the Alabama campus, immediately started pushing Jalen Hurts for playing time, and by the end of the year in the national championship game had unseated him as the starter. Well, not really, because he didn't start the national championship game, but he took the starting job away from him and then started the following season. I think Tua is the definition of a prodigy. I think that Tua is a guy that just kind of gets it. I think he's a prodigious talent. I think he is a sort of phenom in a way, because not only did he immediately start really pushing Hurts for playing time as a true freshman, but then as a true sophomore, he was pretty much immediately the most efficient passer in the nation. Burrow's path was a little bit more bumpy, though, because Burrow, he redshirted at Ohio State, which, I don't know if you guys are aware of my process, but I see redshirting as a bad thing, because to me, if a player redshirts, it means that they're not good enough to play immediately in college. And that doesn't mean they're a bad player. It just means that they're not the best possible player. So like a perfect example to me is Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs, day one at Maryland, immediately saw the field, immediately dominated, immediately just blew the fuck up. And that is, to me, sort of the ideal. That's what you want from a player in college. You want them to show up, immediately start playing like beasts. Like Jonathan Taylor, actually, is another good example of that. He's in this year's class. Jonathan Taylor, another good example. Another guy who immediately showed up as a true freshman at Wisconsin and just started balling out immediately. Joe Burrow can't say that. Joe Burrow redshirted, and then he backed up. I want to say he backed up J.T. Barrett for a year, and he backed up Dwayne Haskins for a year. And actually, that's what it was. He backed up Haskins for a year, and then he transferred. And then in his first full year as a starter at LSU, he didn't really do too well. Like, he was pretty good. Like, I think he was like 80-something percentile, but he wasn't great. And then last year, he just blew the fuck up, and he just lit it up. But we've also got to remember that he did that as a 23-year-old dude. Like, this is a 23-year-old dude destroying defenses that are loaded with 19, 20-year-old kids. and he's doing it with great weapons. Like he had plenty of time behind that LSU line. I think Burrow is a really, really good quarterback prospect, which is why I'm only talking about his negatives right now. But I have to talk about his negatives to just illustrate why I have Tua ahead of him on my personal rankings. I think if it wasn't for Tua's injury, and he's had multiple injuries, but the most recent one is the most concerning one because it was the one that really caused him to miss playing time. But if it wasn't for Tua's injuries, however you want to look at it, I think that he would probably be this pick right now. I think he would probably be the number 1 overall pick because if you look at their resume, Tua has 2.5-ish years of exceptional production, of exceptional efficiency, amazing performances for Alabama, and Burrow has 1 for LSU. So again, it's more about the sort of durability with Tua. People are looking at him and saying, well, he got injured each of the last 2 years. We don't want to draft a quarterback that's only going to play 11 or 12 games a year and get injured every year, that kind of thing. But to me, you can't bank on an injury. You can't be like, oh, this dude is going to get hurt for sure. It's predetermined. You have to look at it as just bad luck. Like the dude has just had bad injury luck. And if he can manage to put together a full 16-game season, it won't be a 16-game season because it'll be like a 19-game season because he will take you deep into the playoffs because he's that good. I see a highlighted message here from Javaris. He said, I think Tua will still go top 5 or top 10, but yeah, the injuries really hurt his draft stock. If I'm an NFL team, I'm not letting Tua fall past number 2. But it seems like Washington, oddly enough, is dead set on a player, and I could be wrong, but it seems like Chase Young is the guy that Washington is dead set on. I don't think that Detroit is even interested in a quarterback. They're probably going to take a guy like Jeff Okudah. And then number 4 is the Giants, and I don't think that they would even draft Tua if they needed a quarterback. I think they would go Herbert over Tua. So it seems like Tua is going to fall right into Miami's laps at 5. And I think they would be absolutely foolish not to just run to the freaking podium and take him. Because, if we're just talking what's most likely to happen, we're looking at Burrow to Cincinnati, Chase Young to Washington, Okudah to Detroit, and then probably an offensive tackle or like Isaiah Simmons or something like that to the Giants at 4. And here we go. First pick, 2020 draft, Cincinnati Bengals select Joe Burrow. There it is. Okay, well, that's official. We knew that was coming. That's not really news. We've known that. I think we've known that with absolute certainty for at least 2 days now, because didn't news just go out that the Bengals sent Burrow and his family number 9 Bengals jerseys? Like, they are all in on this kid. He is the true number 1 pick this year. And yeah, so Burrow number 1 overall. That's not surprising. It shouldn't be surprising to anyone. I actually thought it would have been an interesting decision if Miami would have tried trading up to number 1 overall, and Cincinnati, I think, would have been smart to take that trade, because if you can get, say, Miami's 5th, I think 18th, and then like 25th, I think they have overall picks, and a first-round pick next year, and like a second or third round pick this year and next year, and then use a fraction of that haul to trade back up from 5 to 2 and still get Tua. If you're the Bengals, you're fucking set, because you get all this draft capital, you keep some of it, and you still get Tua. So if I was the Bengals, I would have been looking to trade out and then trade back up, but it seems like they weren't interested in that. They just wanted to stay still, get their guy, and move forward with the new face of the franchise, Joe Burrow. Again, I compare him. I think he's got some Andrew Luck in him. I think he's got some Tony Romo in him. He's, as you can see from some of these highlight packages that they're showing on, I think I have ABC pulled up right now. He's very elusive in the pocket. He's got great legs. He can move. He's got a hell of a motor, and he's got incredible accuracy. His arm is, again, I don't want to overblow his arm because he doesn't have like a cannon or anything, but he does have a good enough arm for the NFL. It's a good arm. It's not a great arm, but it's an incredibly accurate arm. He's got it all between the ears. My only concerns with him are A, red-shirted, B, couldn't beat out Dwayne Haskins, and C, was only good for 1 year. Those are my three concerns with Burrow. He, as far as a production analytics standpoint, he is my number 2 quarterback in this class behind Tua. I think he is tied with a couple guys for the next highest ceiling in this class behind Tua. He probably has the highest ceiling in this class behind Tua, and he's probably the most likely guy in this class to hit his ceiling. Even if we include Tua in that mix, I would say Burrow is probably more likely to actually hit his ceiling than Tua. And yeah, you can even see up here, they're putting up on all of his crazy numbers that he had. All time, he has the second highest completion percentage in the FBS, the most passing touchdowns. This dude is an absolute dynamo. Abel wants me to rank the AFC North quarterbacks right now. Well, that's actually really difficult, Abel. Wow. I don't think it's fair to rank Burrow above Mayfield because we haven't seen him do anything in the NFL yet. And I think I actually had Mayfield ranked higher than Burrow as a prospect. So I would say Mayfield over Burrow. I'd probably, again, we haven't seen Burrow do anything, so I'd have to put Lamar above both of them just because of their 2019 seasons. And then I would put Big Ben at the top. So Burrow, I would say, is the worst starting quarterback in that division, but that's just because we don't know anything about him in the NFL yet. Like, he could prove me wrong very quickly. He could prove that he's better than Baker Mayfield. He could prove that he's better than Lamar. He could prove that he's better than Ben pretty quickly. The thing is, the Bengals have the infrastructure in place for him to have a really good rookie season. They franchise tagged AJ Green, so he's staying around for at least 1 year. And that's a really good dynamic X receiver. They still have John Ross for however many games he's able to stay healthy. That's an amazing stretch Z. They have Tyler Boyd, who is a great target hog slot guy. And they also have 2 other receivers that I like in Auden Tate, who is like a big-bodied red zone, go up and get it, box guys out kind of guy. And personal favorite of mine, Stanley Morgan Jr., was actually my wide receiver 3 in last year's class. Ended up going undrafted, ended up on the Bengals. Still, he made the roster. I hope that they keep him around. I hope he gets his shot, and I hope that he's able to ball out because I really like Stanley Morgan Jr. So, as far as the Bengals go, they have a really strong receiving core. They did lose Tyler Eifert, I think. I'm going to pull up Cincinnati's depth chart on Our Lads. If you want to go to a depth chart, if you want to go to the website that I'm using for depth chart, it's OurLads. That's OurLads.com/NFL depth charts, all one word, no dashes, /depth chart, again, all one word, no dashes, / and then the 3-letter abbreviation for the team. So in this case, CIN for Cincinnati. Let's see. They still have Auden Tate. They have Alex Erickson, DeMarcus Lodge. Tight end I'm looking at. Drew Sample, not a big fan. CJ Uzama, he's done some stuff, I guess. Moritz Boringer, I don't know how to pronounce his name. The guy that came from Europe, I don't remember what country. I think Germany. I guess he's a tight end now. They don't really have any good tight ends, and they're not going to get any because there aren't any in this class either. There aren't any really good tight ends in this class is what I'm saying. So, really good receiving core, not really any great tight ends, but they do have some great receiving running backs. You know, Joe Mixon, Giovanni Bernard. I forget if Travion Williams was a good receiver or not. Let me pull him up. Travion Williams, college stats, since he hasn't really done anything in the NFL yet. I think he was just a rookie this past year. He's an okay receiver. He had 27 receptions in 2018 on a team that completed 254 passes. So that's over 10%. So he had a 10% higher than 10% reception share in 2018. That's pretty good. Probably not the dynamic receiver that Mixon and Bernard are, though. But yeah, man, I think we've got a really strong receiving core. They're getting Jonah Williams back. Jonah Williams was injured last year, their first-round pick in 2019. Unfortunately, they're still starting Bobby Hart at right tackle. Maybe they can fix that in the second round. Maybe come back around, get like an Isaiah Wilson out of Georgia, who's a strong right tackle. Maybe, I don't know. We'll have to see who's still available at the end of the night. Obviously, the Bengals have the first overall pick tomorrow on day 2 in the second round. Maybe they come back and get a right tackle on that. Maybe they do something with their defense. I don't know. If I'm the Bengals and I just pick Joe Burrow, and frankly, I still have Andy Dalton on my roster, I'm trading Andy Dalton to try and get some value out of him. But more importantly, B, I am basically saying fuck defense, and I am building the shit out of my offense around Joe Burrow to give him the best chance at succeeding possible. Because if we win games 55-49 or lose games 53-48, it doesn't really matter. Hang on. There it is. The Redskins took Chase Young. Already, I don't like the pick, but we'll get around to that in a second. I just wanted to get done talking about the offense thing for the Bengals. If they build up their offense and they start getting to the point that, they're losing games 48-53 and shit like that, one offseason can fix that. And if you get a good offense in place, you're good. If you get a good offense in place, one offseason can fix a defense. It takes a lot more effort to build up an offense than it does to fix a defense. Because with a defense, it's less about superstars and it's more about just not having liabilities. If you can just have a defense full of guys that just do their jobs and an offense full of superstars, you're a Super Bowl contender. Chase Young, though. Now let's talk about the Redskins. Chase Young is now on the Washington Redskins, and this is the team with probably the most investment in their pass rush than any other team in the NFL. Just up front, Jonathan Allen and Daron Payne, both first-round picks. Ryan Kerrigan, first-round pick. Montez Sweat, I want to say top 40 pick. I don't think he was a first-rounder, but I'm pretty sure he went in the top 40. And now Chase Young as well, the second overall pick in the draft. So the Skins are firmly rooted in the belief that pass rush above everything, basically, on the defense. If you have an elite pass rush, it covers up everything else. And what we've actually found in recent years is that the exact opposite of that is true. What we've basically found in recent years is it doesn't matter how good your pass rush is. If you can't cover, your pass rush isn't even going to get time to get to the quarterback because they're going to be getting the ball out in 2 seconds. And something like 98 point something odd % of all pass rushes do not get home in the first 2.5 seconds. So the Redskins are investing in a position that is very much dependent on positions that they're already weak at to succeed. The Redskins are saying, okay, we've got John Allen, we've got Matt Ioannidis, we've got Daron Payne, we've got Ryan Kerrigan, we've got Montez Sweat, now we've got Chase Young. Only 4 or 5 of these guys can be on the field at the same time, but now they're saying, okay, we have the best pass rush in the league. And even if that's true, which it might not be, but even if it is true, now, they're thinking these guys are going to be able to get to the quarterback before we can get the ball out. The problem is, it's not a free rush. The offensive line might not be able to block them for long, but they will slow them down. And you need coverage to stop the quarterback from getting the ball out before the ball gets home, or before the pass rush gets home. So if they don't have the coverage unit to be able to hold up before the pass rush gets home in 3 or 4 seconds, which is usually about how long it takes for a pass rush to get home, then this is pretty much a wasted pick. They genuinely would have, if they really wanted to invest in their defense, they genuinely would have been better off investing in a Jeff Okudah or a CJ Henderson, a defensive back that could cover, that could give their already in place good pass rush a better shot at getting home. Because quite frankly, Ryan Kerrigan, coming off of a down year, could still very easily be just as good as you expect Ryan Kerrigan to be. Ryan Kerrigan is still a damn good pass rusher, and Montez Sweat just had a 7-sack rookie year, which might not sound like much, but 7 sacks as a rookie is damn good. 7 sacks as a rookie is really good. And they have John Allen, and they have Daron Payne, and they have Matt Ioannidis. Like, this is the team to me that least needed pass rush help in the top 5, and here they are investing in their pass rush instead. And anyway, it's frustrating. It's frustrating for sure, but at the end of the day, Dan Snyder's going to Dan Snyder, you guys. Dan Snyder's going to do what Dan Snyder's going to do. The Lions pick is in. I'm just waiting for the commissioner to come up to actually announce the pick. I'm assuming it's going to be Okudah. Abel just said he's guessing Brown or Okudah. Derek Brown would be... That would honestly be an even worse pick than Chase Young. But hey, you never know. Matt Patricia really wants to run the ball and stop the run. Here we go. Let's see what it is. The Detroit Lions select Jeff Okudah. Okay, they went with Okudah. Good job, Lions. Good job, Lions. Now, I will say Okudah is not my number 1 corner in this class. He's probably my number 3 corner behind CJ Henderson. And I need to look up his name to make sure I know how to pronounce it. Noah Igbinoghene? I'm so sorry. I genuinely don't know how to pronounce his name. Noah Igbinoghene. I hope that's close. But the dude out of Auburn, the Auburn corner, Noah. I'm just going to call him Noah. He's my number 2 corner behind CJ Henderson. And Okudah is number 3, I think. I'm not even 100% sure about Okudah being number 3 because Okudah's production is like decent, but not great. Like, he honestly looks like another one of those Ohio State corners. Not Marshawn Lattimore, because Marshawn Lattimore had amazing production, but like a Garyon Conley or like a Sean Smith or like maybe even like a Denzel Ward. And honestly, I think Ward had even better production than Okudah. So like, I know a lot of people think Okudah's like this slam dunk pick, but I think he's more of a number 2 corner. And there's still value in that for sure. There's still definitely value in a really good even number 2 corner. But if you're looking for that number 1 potential lockdown guy, I think the 2 guys you're looking at are CJ Henderson and Noah. Again, I'm not going to pronounce his name again because I already probably botched it twice and don't need to make even more of a fool of myself. It's really cool to see Okudah celebrating, though. It's really cool. I love seeing the guys celebrate when they get picked. It's really cool. That's one of those things where, like, from an analytical standpoint and from like an armchair GM standpoint, I have my opinions on who's better than whom. But at the end of the day, these are still 21, 22, 23-year-old kids that are going from very likely less than great means to holy shit, I'm a millionaire. And it's just an amazing thing to watch. It's so cool. And now they're gonna show some Jeff Okudah highlights. They're gonna show him probably getting some good PBUs and INTs. There's a good PBU. Okudah, and I will say, even though I don't think Okudah is the best corner in this class, the Lions are at least investing in a valuable position. Now, granted, it would have been even better if they hadn't gotten rid of Darius Slay, traded him to the Eagles. Actually, I don't even remember if they traded him or if they just let him go. But it would have been even better if they still had Darius Slay, because he could lock down the right side of the field. You could see if Okudah, see what he could do on the left side of the field, maybe cheat a little bit of help over to his side. You could have a really strong secondary. But they let go of Slay. So now it looks like they're going to probably be trying to rely on Okudah to be their number 1, which, he might be. He might be a solid number 1. I don't think he's going to be a great number 1. I don't think he's going to be like a lockdown type of guy, which, again, I think CJ Henderson and Noah I'm just going to call him Noah potentially could be. But I do think Okudah is going to be a good player. I think he's going to be a good guy, a good player. I think he's got good athleticism. He was sort of productive at Ohio State, and a lot of people will use the excuse of like, oh, but Ohio State, that's that's the school that, you know, has all this great talent. It's impossible to produce when you've got all these other great players that are taking away production from you. And like, you'd think that logic would work, but we've never really seen an example of teammate competition preventing a genuinely good NFL prospect or good NFL player from producing in college. Like, if you're good, you produce. Doesn't really matter who else is on the team. I always kind of like to talk about the mid 2010s, the mid 2010s Clemson offenses, and how they had like DeAndre Hopkins and Sammy Watkins and Martavis Bryant and Adam Humphries and Andre Ellington and Dwayne Allen, I think. And like, they had all these dudes, and the ones that rose to the top, like the cream of the crop, baby, were the ones that ended up being in the NFL. Like, it's as simple as that. Like, if you produce, I don't care how good your competition is, if you produce, you're probably better, you know, as far as an NFL player goes. And again, Okuda's production was decent. It was good, but it wasn't like top 3 pick good, you know? So, oh man, I'm trying to kind of keep up with draft and Discord and Twitter and all that stuff. John will be calling, by the way. I'm not entirely sure when. He sent me a message basically saying that he was going to be late and that he was going to plug the Twitch, which, thank you all for being here. I know Abel's here. I know Javaris was here earlier. Chiefin was here. Noob & Co., what's going on? So we've got... oh, that would be John. I know y'all hear that. There we go. Hey, bud, we're live.
Hey, man, how's it going?
Hey, it's good, man. We are live. We just had the Lions pick come through. Have you been listening to the stream while I've been live or no?
I've only listened like the last few moments because I just got in. I've been getting comfortable. I wanted to plug your stream again on Twitter because I've been hearing you killing it, giving the breakdowns and shit. I have nothing pulled up, guys. I have no idea what the fuck's going on. But anybody doing really good? Anybody already doing poorly? Like, we know it's the first round. So how's it going?
The Bengals, obviously, the first overall pick, they did really well for themselves. They picked a really good potential franchise quarterback. I kind of already illustrated that my concerns with him were that early on in his college career, he redshirted, which means that he didn't play in his first year in college. He basically only practiced with the team. And then in his second year, he couldn't beat out another guy. And then in his third year, he transferred. And then in his fourth year, he was he was above average, but he wasn't great. And then in his fifth year, when he was already a 23-year-old man, was when he blew the fuck up and had an amazing season and just set records and shit. Which, like, it's still impressive. I don't want to try and take it away from him, but, like, why did it take you so long? You know what I mean?
Brother, here's what I gotta ask you. You're watching football, you're getting all into it. You know who the dynasty teams are. I'm always more fascinated by the teams that could become dynasties and really begin their legacies. What are some of the more formative picks happening in the draft today? What are some formative picks that certain teams could make? Like, for example, if Eagles pick blank position, they could really be a strong contender next season. Is there anything like that going on tonight?
Well,
any teams you're
The
watching?
thing is, I think for the most part, you should never rely on the draft to go from bottom feeder to contender. I think the draft is sort of a roster supplementer. I think that you should try and fill any roster holes that you have with free agency and then use the draft to supplement that.
Okay.
So I don't think that there's really anybody that's going to go from like top 10 pick to playoffs because of their draft. You know, there are teams that could go from there. You know, you could definitely go from top 10 pick to the playoffs if you get a lot of things right, maybe including the draft. But I don't think that only a draft can do that. As far as a team that could potentially turn it around in one offseason, though, I mean, the obvious number one candidate is the Dolphins. I want to pull up the 2020 draft order and just make sure that I get this right. The Dolphins have 3 picks in the first round, including the 5th overall pick. They have the 5th overall pick, the 18th overall pick, and the 26th overall pick. And they also have, I think, 2 picks in the second round. Yeah, they have the 39th and 56th pick, and then the 70th pick. So they have 6 picks in the top 70. They really only need to draft a quarterback to immediately become relevant. And then they have 5 other picks in the top 70 that they can use to surround that quarterback with talent. And they already have some decent players on offense. They have a really good, promising young tight end. They have a couple of decent wide receivers. They have a few kind of middling wide receivers that might be good with the right quarterback. They have, they have some talent, and it's just a matter of kind of filling out that roster. The Giants pick is in. I'm guessing it's either going to be an offensive tackle or a defensive tackle. So Andrew Thomas, Tristan Wirfs, or Derek Brown.
Yeah, that's really what I was getting at. I mean,
it was Andrew Thomas. It was Andrew Thomas. The Giants took Andrew Thomas. Honestly, good pick for the Giants. It's one of those things where the Giants are kind of a dumpster fire. And Andrew Thomas is not the worst pick that they've made in the last 2 years. Like this.
Right.
Because 2 years ago they took Barkley, and it's a running back 2nd overall, and that's just a disaster. And then last year they took a bad quarterback, and I don't even remember what their other pick was last year. I think they had 2. But yeah, now they have Andrew Thomas. They have, it's interesting though, because Andrew Thomas was a left tackle his entire college career. And they already have a left tackle in place, so they're probably going to ask him to play right tackle. Oh, actually, I'm seeing right here he did play some right tackle. So they're probably going to ask him to play right tackle, at least early on, and they might eventually have him transition over to left tackle once their current left tackle, Nate Solder's contract is up. We'll see. But yeah, Andrew Thomas is now a New York Giant.
Yeah, because that's really kind of what I was getting at. I understand that you can't go from eating dirt, say, to wearing a ring just because of one draft. But I think there's always, and I think we've talked about it past years, there's always that strategic element of what your vision is for the upcoming season. Do we need a stronger offensive line? Do we need to improve our defense, et cetera, et cetera? So I guess just more what strategic plays certain teams could make, where even if they're not going to get the ring next season, maybe they start to enter the conversation a little bit instead of always living on the periphery of the conversation. So it'll be interesting.
Yeah, that's the thing. The only real position that you can say like one player is going to take a team from like irrelevant to contention is quarterback. So the Bengals at number 1 overall taking Joe Burrow. That's a huge step in the right direction for them. They already have some good offensive infrastructure in place. The Dolphins are actually picking now. I'm fully expecting them to take Tua Tagovailoa. If they don't, I think it's a huge mistake. I think Tua is actually my number 1 quarterback, and therefore my number 1 overall player in this class. So for them to get him at number 5 overall would be a huge steal and a franchise-changing positive decision. I think that Tua, not only does he make the Dolphins relevant again, but I think he actually makes them a lot more exciting too. Because it's one thing to be relevant. I think the Falcons are relevant because of Matt Ryan, but he doesn't make them exciting. I think Tua does both. I think Tua makes you both relevant and exciting because he's going to make this team more likely to be a winner, but he's also going to do it in a way that's fun as hell to watch because he's a very Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson type player where he is this sort of prodigious gunslinger. And he's not he doesn't have a Patrick Mahomes level arm. He doesn't have a cannon, but he is just really fun to watch. He and Burrow both, really, the guy that went number 1 overall, Joe Burrow, they both have that about them. They're both these slippery, elusive, I'm going to drop back, and if nobody's open, I'm going to slip a tackle, I'm going to run around, and I'm going to find somebody kind of guys. And that's where the league is moving to right now. The best quarterbacks in the league are the guys that can do that right now. It's your Russell Wilsons, your Deshaun Watsons, last year, Dak Prescott kind of got away with a lot of that too. And even guys that aren't as good at passers like Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen, Daniel Jones, Carson Wentz, who are all on a scale from bad to kind of good but not great passers. those guys get away with a lot more because of their mobility, because they're able to run around, because they're able to make shit happen with their legs. So I think Tua and Burrow both, and I would also say the other two guys in my top 4 quarterbacks, Justin Herbert and Jalen Hurts, all 4 of those guys have mobility and can make things happen with their legs. And that, I think, is a big reason why they rank highly for me, because they have that element of their game. They're not just turrets. They're not just, I'm going to stand still in the pocket and find somebody open and throw the ball to them. They're able to be more dynamic. They're able to move around. They're able to create plays out of nothing. That, to me, is what makes for a guy that can take a franchise that's been struggling, that hasn't found an identity, and turn them into a contender.
You know, if you noticed, I've been asking more like overarching questions on the draft rather than individual player questions. You know, how well do you think they're going to perform in this scheme? Do you think they'll be able to adapt? I've been focusing more on teams because, you know, it is, you know, coaches and GMs and like all those people that are really making these picks and anything else.
Yep.
Now, we've definitely seen some shakeups in the game. You know, I know Gronk recently, that was an uproar. You know, he's going to be returning to football. Obviously, to me, the big story, again, as a filthy casual, as I'll call myself here, would be Tom Brady, you know, kind of severing with the Patriots. Are there any teams that, forget about just like winning a ring, just like kind of need to stabilize? Because the Patriots are kind of an interesting place losing Brady, I'd say. Yeah. Do you feel like there are any teams that like need to slow the bleeding with this draft, that maybe they've got hit with some injuries or some departures that they weren't anticipating? Well, and it's like, oh shit, we need to.
I would say one team that's bleeding that still hasn't even pulled the knife out yet is the Texans, but at least they have a quarterback. Like their coach is sabotaging their team, and he's doing it because he's also the general manager, which is just a terrible allocation of responsibility. He is pretty much sabotaging the team, and their quarterback is stuck in another year or 2 of his contract there. Like he can't demand a trade or anything because it's a fucking rookie contract. You're stuck. I guess he could hold out, but that doesn't set a good example. But yeah, that's like the one team that comes to my mind. When you talk about a team that needs to stop the bleeding, I would say the Texans, before they stop any bleeding, they need to pull the fucking knife out first. They need to get rid of Bill O'Brien, because Bill O'Brien is a problem, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, wow. I can't believe I missed this earlier. The Chiefin subscribed with, I think, Twitch Prime. I didn't actually see if it was with Twitch Prime or not. It just says the Chiefin subscribed. It was his 4th month as a subscriber. So thank you, the Chiefin.
Very cool, Chiefin. Deeply appreciated.
Here we go. Dolphins pick. Please be Tua. Don't fuck this up, Miami. Yes! They did it! They did it! They got Tua! Yeah! Right? That was so easy, Dolphins! Oh my god! They didn't even have to trade up for him! He fell into their laps at 5! And now they have 2 more picks just tonight to give him talent around him to help him make his job easier. They have 2 more picks. No, 3 more picks tomorrow to do the same thing. The Dolphins might be on the right track here. I'm just saying, Tua, again, makes them relevant and exciting. I'm excited about the Dolphins this year now.
Very cool. Very cool.
And now the Chargers are on the clock. And there are a lot of rumors that they are liking Justin Herbert, so they might be getting another quarterback off the board here.
So how many teams have picked so far?
5. It's been the Bengals. Oh, God, I got to try and remember the order here. The Bengals, the Redskins, the Lions, the Giants, and the Dolphins just picked.
Nice.
Yep. And right now the Chargers are on the clock. LAC, baby. LA Chargers. With their new logo and shit. Yeah, guys, I'm also just going to tell you all, I do like Jerry Jeudy, but I also do think that the Alabama receivers as a whole are overrated, and I think that the reason that they ended up getting overrated is because of how fucking good Tua Tagovailoa is. I think this dude took a team of good receivers and elevated them to the point that they're probably all going to end up being first-round draft picks. Like, I think they have Tua to thank for that shit.
So that seems like one hell of a prospect.
Oh, dude, he's so good. Like, let me just put this into perspective for you, right?
Yeah.
In 2016, I want to pull up the page just to make sure that I'm not getting my facts wrong. In 2016, let me make sure I got this right. Yeah. In 2016, a true freshman, Jalen Hurts, won the starting job for Alabama, right? And this is Alabama. Like, you don't even pay attention to college football, but just me saying Alabama probably rings something in your ear like, oh, that's a big deal, right? Like, Alabama is a college football powerhouse, right?
Yeah.
In 2016, a true freshman, 18-year-old Jalen Hurts won the starting job for Alabama.
Oh, wow.
And then in 2017, a true freshman, Tua Tagovailoa, came along and didn't necessarily take the starting job away from Jalen Hurts immediately. Hurts was still the starter for the entire season, but then in the national championship game, Hurts was not moving the ball so well. He was struggling a little bit. And you know what Nick Saban, the head coach, did? He pulled his starting quarterback for the true freshman. Tua Tagovailoa came in and won the fucking national title game from behind as a true freshman. And then he obviously at that point was the starter. So then in the next year, Tua was the starting quarterback for Alabama in 2018. And he lit the world on fire. He averaged over 11 yards per pass attempt, 43 touchdowns, only 6 interceptions. He was amazing to the point that Jalen Hurts, the dude that literally won the starting job in 2016, transferred to Oklahoma.
Holy shit.
That's how good Tua Tagovailoa is. Jalen Hurts is a really good quarterback. Jalen Hurts is the number 3 quarterback on my rankings in this draft class. He's that good. I love Jalen Hurts, but he's not Tua. He's not Tua Tagovailoa. That's the problem.
Sounds like if you give Tua the right team, that kid will be wearing a ring sooner rather than later.
I genuinely think so.
Stats.
Yeah, I genuinely. And the biggest thing with him is just staying healthy, because he has dealt with some injuries. In that 2018 season, he and Hurts kind of pulled a little bit of a switcheroo because, again, Tua was the starter. And in the SEC championship game, so not the national championship game, this is like a stage below that. This is a conference championship. Tua got hurt, and Hurts had to come in and kind of save the game, and he did end up winning the game then. So it's just like, again, Hurts is a good quarterback. Tua is just a fucking miracle worker. But Tua got hurt in that game, and Hurts came in, and he won the game for him. And Tua was able to play the next game. So it's not like he actually missed any full games from that injury. But then in 2019, he did miss a few games with a separate injury, a hip injury. But that's the thing, though, is that I've heard nothing but good things about Tua's outlook on his hip. I actually just saw earlier today something about how his hips both look the exact same in an x-ray. Like, you literally cannot tell which one was injured if you look at an x-ray or an MRI or anything like that. So,
oh, wow.
I'm excited for the kid, man. I'm very excited. I will be watching the Dolphins intently this season for sure.
I mean, I'll tell you, because I only watched football with you somewhat closely, and even then I wasn't fully immersed. It was maybe like a team or two. But I've never heard somebody with that kind of resume, that kind of glowing review. That seems like a once in a generation kind of talent to me, if I'm being honest. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, Javaris, that would be beautiful. Honestly, I don't actually expect this to happen, but I would lose my shit if New England drafted Jalen 23rd overall. I would be glowing. I would be so happy for Jalen. I think that dude is going to be such a good quarterback. Speaking of quarterbacks, though, right now the Chargers are on the clock. Their pick is actually in. They're not on the clock anymore. Their pick is in. And I do think they're going to take a quarterback. I think they're going to take Justin Herbert out of Oregon. A guy that, man, Herbert's interesting because there are some analytics-focused guys, which I'm an analytics-focused guy, but obviously not all analytics people look at the same shit. But there are some analytics-focused guys that think that Justin Herbert is just going to be fucking ass. They just think this dude is like Blaine Gabbert garbage tier crap, just never going to be anything. He's going to hold a franchise back or whatever. I think he's good, though. I actually comp him to Carson Wentz, who I mentioned earlier. I think at the very least, he's going to be a guy who, even if he's not a great passer early on, he's athletic and mobile enough that he can kind of pull some of that Houdini stuff, like what I was talking about earlier with Josh Allen and Daniel Jones and Carson Wentz and guys like that. I think that he's along those lines, but I think he's a better passer than all those guys. So I really like Justin Herbert. That's the thing, man. This is an interesting class because the last 2 years, last year, there was only one quarterback that I was confident would be really good in the NFL, and that was Kyler Murray. And the rest of the guys I was like really uneasy on. I was like not sure who to rank where. And the year before that, there were only 2 guys that I felt confident would be good, and that was Baker Mayfield and Sam Darnold. And again, I wasn't sure after that. Here we go, Chargers. Who are they getting? Herbert. Yeah, Herbert's a Charger. You'll love to see. See, this is what happens. Like, so many people on Twitter over the last few days have been like, oh man, this draft is going to be crazy. You internet people don't know what to expect. You guys are going to have your minds blown. And this top 6 is chalky as fuck. This top 6 is literally how every mock draft predicted it would go. Like,
yeah.
This top 6 is the literal chalk. This is exactly how everyone thought the top 6 would go. And I'm happy about it. I'm excited. I mean, really, the only team to me that completely whiffed on their first pick in the top 6 is the Redskins taking Chase Young second overall. And that's not because I think he's going to suck. He's going to be a good player. I think he's going to be a good player. I don't think he's a generational edge rusher. I don't think that he's another like Myles Garrett, Joey Bosa type level edge rusher. I think he's going to be like Robert Quinn or Jason Pierre-Paul. And that's a really good thing. Those guys are really good players. But second overall, to draft a guy that's going to be in a 3-man rotation and not improve your offense is just silly to me.
Right.
By the way, John, I don't know if I've ever told you this. And if I have, I don't know if you remember. There have been studies done evaluating the impact on certain things on the likelihood of a win, like the outcome of a game. You know what I mean?
Right, yeah, okay.
And do you know what I mean when I say a coefficient of correlation?
No.
Okay, so basically a coefficient of correlation tells you how well a set of numbers is able to predict a second set of numbers. So if I gave you 2 sets of numbers and the resulting coefficient of correlation between those 2 sets of numbers was 0.5, it means that you could sort one group of numbers from smallest to highest. And if you would project or predict that that would be the exact order of the second set of numbers in increasing order, you would get half of those predictions correct. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So basically the coefficient of correlation in football, you really one number, like the best single number that you can usually come up with to try and predict how good a player is going to be in the NFL, just using one number, whether it's a college production number or like an athletic measurable trait. Usually your coefficient of correlation at the very high end is going to be in like the 0.13 to 0.15 range, right?
Okay.
And Pro Football Focus actually did a study using their grades, and these guys have over a decade worth of grades to go off of. And what they basically found was that the passing grade of a team has about a 40% correlation with wins. So right there, boom, 40% of whether a team wins a game or not can be explained by who the better passer was, right?
Okay.
32% of the team that wins can be explained by how good their receivers are. Now that could be actual wide receivers. It could be receiving tight ends. It could be receiving running backs. You know, receiving in general has a 32% correlation. So right there, we know the passing game in general, the 40% from the passer, the 32% from the receiver, has a 72% correlation with who wins a game, right?
Okay.
Then the next the next highest number was coverage. And now this is basically the opposite. It's defensive players who can prevent passes from connecting to wide receivers. So it's like a player that is sticking around a wide receiver, and then when the quarterback throws it, they are able to stop the receiver from catching it. That's what coverage is, right?
Okay.
That has around a 29% correlation, because again, these aren't perfect. Like, it's not going to all add up to exactly 100%. It's different, but the idea is that's got about a 29% correlation. So everything else, they looked at running, they looked at run blocking and pass blocking and run defense and pass rush and all that shit. Nothing else graded out as higher than 5%. So those are the three things that teams need to be focusing on. You need to, number one priority, and everyone already knows this, number one priority, get a quarterback. The Dolphins, the Chargers, and the Bengals all did that today. The Bengals got Joe Burrow, the Dolphins got Tua Tagovailoa, the Chargers just got Justin Herbert. There's one quarterback left in this class that I think is going to be good in the NFL. That's Jalen Hurts. We'll talk about him later. Hopefully. I hope he gets drafted today. God, that would make my day. But the number one priority, get a quarterback, right? The number two priority, surround that quarterback with receivers that get open. Because then you just need him to find the open guy and throw it to him. And if he's a good quarterback, that's what he's good at already. So then your offense is chugging along, right? Number three, coverage. You need to stop the other team from doing the passing thing, You need to stop the other team from completing passes. And the way you do that is by not letting them complete passes. Like, it's funny because people think the way to stop teams from completing passes is by stopping them from throwing the ball at all. But that only happens like 1 in 50 times or so, 1 in 40 times, something like that. But if you literally just cover the receivers well enough with your defensive players, then your pass rush will get more time to get home. And even if the quarterback does throw the ball, there's a better chance of it not being completed. So those are the three big things. Number one, get a quarterback. Number two, surround him with great talent, receiving talent. And number three, get players on defense that can cover, that can stop your opponents from passing. Those are the three keys to success in the NFL.
All right.
And right now, there are no receivers off the board. Not a single receiver has been drafted yet, but we have 3 quarterbacks out of the first 6, which is great. A corner who is a coverage player, which is good. A defensive tackle and an offensive tackle, which, God, disappointing, but honestly, the defensive tackle, or I'm sorry, it's not a defensive tackle, it's an edge rusher. It's an edge rusher and an offensive tackle. The edge rusher, Chase Young, went to the Redskins. He's going to be part of a 3-man rotation with Ryan Kerrigan and Montez Sweat. I hated that pick. I think that's a dumb pick. Everyone's been saying that's what's going to happen. I've been hoping that everyone was wrong. They weren't. They were right. Chase Young is a Redskin, and what a waste of a pick. So now we get to 7th overall, and we've got the Carolina Panthers. They just lost Luke Kuechly to retirement, so you would think they're probably going to replace him. They're probably going to draft Isaiah Simmons, because again, this is the chalkiest draft ever. They're going Isaiah Simmons. I'm calling it.
We shall see.
Oh, God, they're building up Matt Rule like he's some kind of miracle worker. Matt Rule's a fucking hack. You want hot takes? You got hot takes, brother.
There you go.
Oh, and God, there he is. I just saw him in his room, like in his fucking den. There you go. Panther selection is in. Isaiah Simmons, let's do this. Oh, no! Oh, no, Panthers, what are you doing? You are the chosen ones. It was supposed to be you. They took Derek Brown, you guys. Oh, God damn it. What was I just saying, John? What was I just saying? Passer, receiver, coverage. They go with a run stuffer.
Well, I guess they didn't hear your breakdown there.
Oh, they didn't hear anyone's breakdown because they're on their own little bullshit.
And that's the problem.
They think they're smarter than facts.
What is wrong with them?
They think they're smarter than numbers.
Get it together, league.
Oh, my God. The Cardinals are up next. I'm not really sure what they're going to do. honestly, at this point, they might want to be like, oh, Carolina, you don't want Isaiah Simmons? Okay, we'll take him. Okay, yes, thank you. They could also do Tristan Wirfs. They need a tackle, I think. They could do another receiver. I mean, they've already got the most potent passing game in the league. Why not just add to it, right? They got Kyler Murray at quarterback. They got DeAndre Hopkins at X. They've got Christian Kirk and Larry Fitzgerald in the slot. Why not add a Stretch Z and Henry Ruggs, right? Why not? Just do it. Just do it, Cards. Add Henry Ruggs to your stupid stable of Studley stupid receivers. Oh, man. Good for you, Derek. Good for you, man. Fucking dumbass Panthers. I'm happy for Derek Brown, man. I'm happy for Derek Brown. It was a dumbass decision by the Panthers, but good for the player, man. Good for the person.
Yeah, ain't the player's fault where they go, so, you know.
Well, the Cardinals pick is in. Now we just have to wait another 10 minutes for it to be announced. Oh, man. I'm guessing one of three players. It's either going to be Isaiah Simmons, because, again, I don't think anybody expected him to get past Carolina. It's either going to be Isaiah Simmons, Tristan Wirfs, or Henry Ruggs. Those are my three guesses for Arizona. Maybe CeeDee Lamb. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, we'll say those four. We'll say one of those four guys. We'll say, because I say Henry Ruggs, but they might like Lamb more. They might like Lamb more than Ruggs. Oh my God, Derek Brown. The thing is, dude, like, I'm going to try and explain this in the simplest way possible. Running the ball is something that's only really effective and efficient to do when you have a strong lead.
Right.
So, what the Panthers are basically saying is, when we're down by a whole bunch of points, we just want to be able to stop the bleeding.
Right.
Like, they don't really have interest in winning games. They just don't want to lose by too much.
Okay.
That's what this pick says. This pick literally says, we need a guy whose maximum efficiency, whose maximum optimal usage on the field comes when we're down by 2 scores.
Damn.
Yeah, that's literally what it is, because he's a run-stuffing nose tackle. He's not going to be a pass rusher in the NFL. You're fooling yourself if you think he is. Dude ran an 8-second 3-cone. That's not indicative of a pass rush talent. Are you kidding me?
That confuses me too, because intuitively, when you think about football, I mean, you're going to cover more yardage with passing plays than you would with running plays, unless you find like a nice opening and you've got fucking lightning feed.
Oh, here we go. Arizona Cardinals pick is in. Who's it going to be? Simmons, Ruggs, Wirfs, Lamb. Simmons! They went Simmons! Ah, the Panthers' mistake is the Cardinals' steal. Oh, man. That is brutal for Carolina. Good for you, Cardinals. Good for you, Arizona. And frankly, good for Isaiah. Good for Isaiah. He's going top 10 as a linebacker. Damn.
Doesn't happen very often, does it? It doesn't seem like it happens.
No, it doesn't happen very often. It's happened, like, even Luke Kuechly, I want to say, went like 12th overall or something. Let me look, actually. I already have the 2020 draft pulled up. Let me just pull up other drafts. Let's see. So last year, 2 linebackers, but really 1 proper off-ball linebacker went in the top. No, Devin Bush. Okay, so last year we did have 2 linebackers, proper linebackers, go in the top 10. 2018, 1 was Roquan Smith. 2017, none. 2016, I want to say also none. Yeah. Oh, Leonard Floyd, but no, he's an outside linebacker. He doesn't count. So yeah, 2016, also none. 2015, none. 2014, let's see, let me click. 2014, Anthony Barr went, and then he was kind of a hybrid, but the Vikings drafted him to be a proper off-ball linebacker. So we'll call that 1. 2013, I'm just trying to get back to Kuechly. 2013, none. And then 2012, Kuechly, did he go 12th? Was I right? He went 9th. Okay, so Kuechly did go top 10. But there you go. So I would say an average of like one, maybe let's just say an average of 2 every 3 years or so. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Still though, I like Isaiah, man. He was a productive son of a bitch at Clemson. He started his career at Clemson as a safety, so like a defensive back. Like he was playing further away from the ball, and he just kept bulking up, man. And now he's like 6'4", 235. He's a fucking unit.
Damn.
And he runs 4.4. He's got that Deion Jones speed. He hits like a truck. He can cover like a beast. He is the next generation linebacker. I fully expect him to be a stud. Would not surprise me whatsoever if he made the Pro Bowl as a rookie. Might even be a Rookie of the Year candidate, a defensive Rookie of the Year candidate, because I fully expect one of the quarterbacks to win Rookie of the Year. But as far as defensive Rookie of the Year goes, Simmons is definitely a contender. And especially because the Cardinals are kind of talent barren on defense. Like they don't have a ton of defensive talent, so a guy like him could really come in and just suck up a bunch of tackles and really dominate. So yeah, that's really cool though. Good for you, Isaiah. Good for you.
Very nice.
Next on the clock is Jacksonville, and this is really the first pick that I'm not really certain about. If I had to guess, just like gun to my head, I have to name one name that I think they're going to pick. I'm going to say Jerry Jeudy. But they have multiple picks in the first round. I think they have 2 or 3. Let me look up Jaguars. They have 2. So they have the 9th overall pick and then the 20th overall pick. So they might not want to go receiver 9th overall because this is a really deep, strong receiver class. Or they might just feel like the drop-off from those top 3 guys is so significant and they wouldn't be able to get any of the 3 of them at 20 that they have to take one of them now, and especially because they have their pick of the litter. There have been no receivers drafted yet. So they could very easily go with a Jeudy, Lamb, or Ruggs here. They already have DJ Chark. I'm not actually entirely sure which receiver position Chark plays. Abel, you're kind of a Jacksonville fan, so if you know where Chark lines up the most, I'm seeing here it looks like at X, so like on the left side of the quarterback, when the quarterback lines up, the X is to his far left, usually lines up on the line of scrimmage. So the split end is the DJ Chark role, which means that they would probably be more interested in a slot guy or a Z. And I think Jeudy can play either one of those positions. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with Jeudy. I'm gonna say Jeudy here to the Jags.
All right, let's see how that goes.
Jarvis Landry. Oh, this is so sweet. I don't actually recognize him. That's Sean Payton. I know I saw Tony Gonzalez. Yeah, there's Tony Gonzalez right there. Are you watching this at all?
Oh, no, I've been totally disconnected.
Well, for those of you that are watching on TV, oh, there's JJ Watt. I have the ABC feed pulled up. I'm watching this on ABC. Tom Brady, Deion Sanders. Hashtag stay home, stay strong. The NFL family has committed more than $80 million to coronavirus relief. Good for you, NFL. That $80 million is still a drop in the bucket to what you actually are worth.
I wanted to ask too. I'm guessing not, but I figured might as well ask because of the times we're currently living in. Has the draft hit different at all, being virtual and everything, or has it been better in some ways?
I guess to a degree because there's not like live crowd reactions to every pick, but it still feels the same to me. I don't know. Not literally the exact same, but it doesn't feel different enough that it's jarring.
I heard Goodell's still getting booed virtually.
Yeah, they have it set up where people could send themselves booing, and they have them playing for him.
Must be great being the top heel in the league.
I wonder if Jack's pick is in yet.
That's honestly one of the most comforting things. Like, I've been out of the football loop, and I was barely even in it to begin with. But I mean, if you ever wanted a sign that just some things are constant, that hatred, man, pandemic or not, they're like, no, we're getting our booze in. You're experiencing this every year.
Man, that top 6 was chalk as fuck. The Panthers really threw a wrench in it, taking a fucking defensive tackle 7th overall, though. That's hilarious.
Like you said, though, predictable ain't bad. Predictable's just got to be good. It's got to be sensible in the landscape of football.
Oh, man. I wonder what my NFL draft Discord pals are saying right now. Let's see. Draft pick selections. Let's see. Oh, man, I got to scroll. Okay, there we go. Bengals, A. Redskins, C. Lions, B. Giants, C. Dolphins, big old A. If I could give an S rank to that, I would. Chargers, A. Panthers, F. No, I'll be a little more generous. I'll give them a D. Panthers, D. Cardinals, I'll say B, because that's a good pick, but not a great pick. All right, here we go. Jacksonville, let's go. Who'd they pick? Who'd the Jags pick? Select. Oh, they went corner. Okay. See, now that to me was the first truly unexpected pick of the draft. Because there was chatter that Carolina wanted a D tackle. I just mentally rejected it because of how egregious that pick would be. And then they did it. But I like this pick for the Jags. They really need to help their offense more, but this to me, like, they just got my number 1 corner, 9th overall. Really strong pick in my opinion. I really like CJ Henderson. He was my number 1 ranked corner. He is an athletic freak. He was super productive for Florida. He is a great sort of size speed prospect. He's got really everything you look for. He had the production, the size, the athleticism, the age. He's young as hell. I think he's like 21 years old. He's young. Yeah, he kind of checked pretty much every box for me. So I really, really like CJ Henderson. Fully expecting him to be a very good coverage corner at the next level.
Okay, well, that's actually something I don't think I've asked you yet. Is there anybody that hasn't been taken yet that you're excited about seeing where they'll go? Because if any receivers still not been
the receivers in general, this is a really good receiver class. I did sort of like a what I would do mock draft earlier today.
Yeah.
And let me just count here. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 wide receivers going in the first round. And we haven't had a single one go yet. Now, as far as what I'm actually predicting, I'm predicting that 6 will go in the first round. I just value wide receivers more than the NFL does because, again, I've seen the numbers. Receiving is the number 2 most important thing to get after passing. So teams that already have quarterbacks don't need to pick other quarterbacks. So their number 1 priority is to get receiving weapons, right? So that's
right.
I predict. I personally went and got 10 wide receivers in the first round of my what I would do mock draft. But yeah, it's really cool to see CJ Henderson getting picked in the top 10. It's unfortunate for a lot of teams that were hoping that he would follow them. But right now, the Browns are picking 10th overall, and they just had Tristan Wirfs fall into their lap. This is such a slam dunk pick for them. Tristan Wirfs it is. Such an easy pick. They already have a quarterback. They already have good receivers. Their coverage unit is young enough that you can probably count on them to just progress and get better, and you don't have to try and replace them already. Get a left tackle. Protect Baker. Protect Baker Mayfield, Browns. Protect the man.
Well, let's see if they will protect Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, right now there's a little kid talking with a Jarvis Landry jersey behind him. I'm not actually sure what he's talking about. It seems like he's talking about support for, St. Jude.
I knew that kid. No, never mind. He's actually promoting a good cause. I thought if they were talking football, I was going to be like, well, actually probably a shit take, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, here we go. I think we might. Yes, Browns pick us in. Wirfs, do it. Pick Tristan Wirfs. Protect Baker at all costs. Oh, come on. Okay, get past the messaging. Okay, let's go.
I'm just like, we're here for football.
Select Tristan Jedrick. Oh, well, you know what though? It's still a tackle. It's not my next best tackle, but still a tackle. Good enough. They got an offensive tackle. I'm reasonably content with this pick.
Nice.
Shit. Well, yeah, I'm disappointed because they had Tristan Wirfs fall in their lap. He's the next Trent Williams, and they were just like, nah, give us the right tackle instead.
So just to recap, still no receivers have been taken yet?
Correct.
Because, you know, I've been... Yeah, okay. Because, like, I'm only kind of paying attention here. I mean, I'm asking you questions as we go, but, you know, I don't even have it pulled up. So you may have to repeat some things. I apologize, but...
No, man, that is absolutely fine. You know, this is interesting, though. I wonder if they're going to try and move Wills to left tackle because they just signed Jack Conklin, their at right tackle, in the offseason. They literally just got him this year. They just got a really good, strong right tackle this year. So I'm wondering if they're going to try and move Wills to left tackle because he played right tackle his entire college career. And they brought him in to play left tackle because they're not going to just have him and Conklin battle it out for the starting right tackle job and have the other one back the guy up. They're going to want to use both of those guys because they invested a lot in both of them. They invested a lot of money into Conklin and a number 10 overall pick into Wills. They're going to want both those guys on the field. So it's just a matter of which one is the starting left tackle versus right tackle.
Okay.
Man, that's really interesting, though. Huh. I mean, hey, I hope he works out for them because I really just want to see Baker Mayfield get a real shot to be good because that 2018 season was magical for him.
I mean, and that's the thing about football. It's not, you know, and obviously we know this. Even the most casual people should fucking know this. I mean, football obviously isn't an individual game. It is a team game. So when you're drafting prospects, you got to think about how they're going to work with the rest of the team. You know, are they going to have chemistry with this one and this one? That's why it's always exciting when people that played together in college end up on the same team, which I think we've seen before in certain drafts.
Yeah.
Like, you know, they played together in college and now they're both on this team. You want to think about, you want to be holistic rather than reductionist. And it's not just about what you need, but is this going to jive well with the rest of like who I've got? And, you know, like Tua, with how you raved about him. I mean, I can't imagine a person like that not playing well with everybody else and just having a well-oiled machine.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's going to be interesting how it all works out.
I'll have to show you a Tua, like a highlight reel one of these days to just.
That'd be the only one I'd care about in recent years. Cause you spoke so glowingly of that. You know, I can't imagine. I mean,
dude, that's the thing. Like, if you just think about it from a more practical standpoint, you know, a first down is 10 yards, right?
Exactly, yeah.
This dude averaged 11.2 yards per throw, not per completion, like every time the ball left his hands, he averaged 11.2 yards.
Oh my God.
That was in 2018. In 2019, I think he was even higher than that. Let me look real quick. 2019, it was 11.3, so it went up by 0.1.
That's insanity, bro.
Yeah, everyone's just like, oh, that Tua, that 11.2 yards per attempt, that's going to regress next year. And he's just like, try get better by a little. Oh, yeah, Tua's incredible. Oh, man. And now we have an ad break, unfortunately. Dude, I don't know if you noticed, but I did pull up Rocket League to play earlier. If you'd like to play some Rocket League.
Oh, shit. Yeah. I could join you on that. Yeah, just give me a few moments, man. I'm kind of tied up in some stuff, but
sure thing, man. Yeah, I was going to say, because we're kind of hitting that part in the draft where the discussion has slowed down to the point that we've kind of caught up to the draft picks because the draft picks aren't coming in fast enough for us to keep a steady flow of discussion going on.
Right.
And I don't want to keep repeating myself talking about how trash the Panthers pick was.
I actually did have somewhat of a weird question that I thought maybe would be appropriate for a time like this. Do you ever think that, because I don't know why I've never asked you this before, I don't even know what even made me think of this, but do you ever feel like people that are discussing picks, do you think they ever get, how can I frame this question properly? Do you think they ever get blinded by what I would call, because I first came across this term in a paper I read dealing with philosophy, and I have to feel like it applies to other fields and activities as well, by prestige bias. So, like, do you think they ever get really enraptured by a player because they went to a really good school rather than how the player just performs individually?
Yes. Oh my God, yes. That is honestly, in my opinion, one of the biggest problems facing the draft community these days.
Oh, I'm so glad I asked, because, I was even wondering, like, how bad do you think prestige bias, again, just focusing more on schools rather than individual players, is affecting the NFL? So if you'd like to talk about that, I'd love to hear it.
Definitely, yeah. To me, the two schools that kind of have their talent overrated the most by the draft community at large are Alabama and Ohio State. Alabama especially. I think Alabama is the bigger offender because if you breathe on an Alabama football field, you're probably going to be a first-round draft pick. It doesn't fucking matter how good you are. It doesn't matter if you produce. It doesn't matter if you're athletic.
Picking a team.
All that matters is you started for the Alabama Crimson Tide. That's it. If you started for the Crimson Tide, you're probably going to get drafted pretty highly. And right there, we just saw a great example of it. Jedrick Wills getting picked over Tristan Wirfs. In my opinion, a really, really bad move. Tristan Wirfs is the most athletic offensive tackle that we've seen in a little while. He is an athletic freak. He is, he's got good technique. He was my number one offensive tackle, and now he's going to end up, at the very best, he's going to end up being the third tackle taken. I think that Tristan Wirfs is the best offensive tackle in this class, and we just saw Jedrick Wills go ahead of him. Why? Alabama. That's why. That's all it takes. Alabama is like, and that's the thing too. Tua is an Alabama guy, but at least he produced. He proved why he should be a high pick. A lot of the time, you'll get guys that go early just because they're from Bama or because, they played well in like 200 snaps for Alabama. Meanwhile, you've got Tua throwing 400 passes, killing it, and he goes, 5th overall? When, in my opinion, he should have been the first pick. And again, though, there's a part of the prestige bias in that because I think a part of the reason that teams were really kind of unsure about picking Tua is because in their minds, he's surrounded with all this talent at Alabama. We don't know if we're going to be able to give him that kind of talent at the next level. So they're thinking like Tua has the best offensive line. He has the best receivers. His job's easy. When we draft him, his job isn't going to be as easy. But again, there's an inherent bias there because they just think, Alabama players are just better, period. But like there are two receivers from Alabama that are going to go drafted probably today. And one of them might go right here. Jets are picking. Select. Mekhi Becton. Okay. I don't hate that pick. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either. But anyway, there are two Alabama receivers. They're going to be probably drafted today. Jerry Jeudy and Henry Ruggs. And I do kind of like Jerry Jeudy. I think he's a pretty decent player. And then, but he's overrated, I will say. I think he's overrated. I think he's good, not great. But a lot of people that have watched him have said that he's just like this prodigious route runner. He's one of the best route runners they've ever seen. Everything that he does is going to translate so well to the next level. He's the easy number one receiver in this class and all that stuff. I won't go that far about him. I think he's a good receiver. I think he's going to be a good receiver in the NFL, but I don't think he's like this slam dunk number one, easy, like transformative player that a lot of other people have said he is. And then Henry Ruggs looks like a nobody. Like Henry Ruggs from a production standpoint, the only reason that this dude gets hype, two reasons actually. The only two reasons that this dude gets hype are because A, he's very fast. And even then, he's not like otherworldly fast. Like he didn't break any records as far as his speed goes. And number two, Alabama. That's it right there. Those two reasons, speed and Alabama. If you have those two things, you are a first-round pick.
I'm really glad I asked about the prestige bias because, again, we talk about it a lot in philosophy, that a lot of people that will get jobs and professorships will come from like the really elite schools. We actually have something, well, I shouldn't say we, because I know a lot of us are against it, but it's called a Philosophical Gourmet Report, where we rank like the top 10 schools. Yeah. And like a lot of jobs will go to those schools. So it seems like in the NFL draft, it's more schools competing than individual prospects, it seems like, if it's got a prestige bias of its own. Now, let me ask, is there anything you want to say though before I ask my follow-up question? Because I don't want to.
Well, I was just going to add that I think Ohio State also has this problem because you'll see, like earlier on, we saw Jeff Okudah go number 3 overall to the Lions. He was my 3rd-ranked cornerback in this class, and I base my shit on production and athleticism, basically on everything measurable. I base my shit on everything that you can possibly get that is as close to objective as possible. And Okudah was my number 3 corner. And really, I would honestly, just being completely transparent, a big reason that he was my number 3 corner is because he was a part of a bigger group of guys that qualified to be number 3, and he's the highest ranked guy by the public. So that's why I was just like, you know what? If all these guys are the same to me, I'll just pick the guy to be number 3 that's going to get the least people angry at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Do you, because again, I know, like... See, the problem of prestige bias, again, going off by where I first encountered it and then trying to liken it to football, I guess, to see the similarities and the dissimilarities, it goes hand in hand with a lot of other issues. So, like, structural inequities, like, say, racism, like, a lot of black people, because of socioeconomic status, wouldn't be able to go to a more elite school. Do you find some more problems in football that some prospects that could be really good just aren't able to be a part of these programs and kind of have the benefit of prestige bias because of, those socioeconomic concerns or whatever?
That's a definite possibility, but it's not something that I'm overly aware of. And when I say it's a possibility, it's really just like the big programs that have the prestige bias going in their favor. I mean, they don't look at every single high school in the nation. They don't, like, they're not fucking inhuman. They're not superhuman. They're not able to get information and watch every single player in every single high school in every single state. So they obviously are going to filter out the more prestigious high schools then that they can choose players from. And then basically you could be the best player at your position in the entire country. But if your parents can't afford a really, really prestigious high school, that shit don't matter. You're not going to go to a good college.
Exactly, which means you're probably not going to be a part of a good program, and so on and so on and so forth.
Right. Now, I will say, there are still, it's not like only players from Alabama and Ohio State get drafted. The problem,
of course,
isn't, the problem to me, it's not like those players are, monopolizing, or I guess oligopolizing the draft. It's more that they just get put up on more of a pedestal. Like, in order for a guy from, say, hang on a second, Raider selection is in, I'm guessing it's CeeDee Lamb. Raiders, here we go. Who's it going to be? Lamb or Judy? Select. Oh, no! It's Al Davis all over again! Oh, Raiders! I thought you guys were getting your shit together. What the hell?
Oh, you hate to say it.
Well, there's your prestige bias, brother. The guy who has never been more than the number 3 receiver for Alabama the last 2 years just was the first receiver drafted in the draft.
Wow.
I'm not joking you, dude. I'm going to pull up the numbers so that I can tell you exact numbers here. In 2018, and I'm only starting in 2018 because in 2017, he literally only had 12 catches for 229 yards. In 2018, though, this dude was the 3rd receiver on Alabama. He had the 2nd most receptions, the 3rd most yards, the 2nd most touchdowns. Then in 2019, Again, Alabama, he had the third most receptions, the third most yards, and the third most touchdowns. Tied for the third most touchdowns. And here's the thing, brother. Here's the funny thing. He was number 2 and number 3 both of those years. The one dude that was consistently ahead of him production-wise both of those years is in this draft class, and Ruggs just got drafted over him.
Wow.
Yeah, because speed. Because he's fast. Because he ran a 4.28 40 at the combine. That's literally the singular reason. Well, one of two reasons, really, because, again, Alabama, that this dude just went 12th overall. The Raiders have reverted to their Al Davis ways. I'm so disappointed in you, Las Vegas. You were supposed to be fixing your shit.
Oh, man, you hate to say it.
I'm ready to pick a team. I want to take this frustration out on the fucking bots.
Hold on one sec, because I'm just putting out another notice here on Twitter about our discussion here at the NFL Draft 2020.
My balls are about to shit.
Classic. All right, picking a team.
Okay.
No, I'm really glad that, like, it wasn't a stupid question after all, because that was one of the questions I was referring to.
Dude, not only was it not a bad question, but it was a perfectly timed question, because you asked that, and the next pick was an example of it.
Yeah. Because that was one of the questions that I meant when I said, like, I've thought, and really that was, like, one of the only things I had really thought about, and really, but I'm like, I wonder.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I mean, football's a fucking American institution. Like, I don't know what America's going to fucking do without football games if this shit doesn't get together soon. I think this draft is probably calming a lot of people down.
It is, for sure.
They're like fucking Chocolate Boy looking at fucking
This is unironically probably going to go down as the most viewed draft ever.
It's like, oh, God, yes, football. Oh, so good. It's like Cartman sucking out that cup of KFC gravy.
Yeah.
That's it?
You mean to tell me we have to wait until September for more?
Yeah.
If you're lucky.
Yeah, the way of the Rona might have something to say about that.
Oh, just wait a second wave to hit. Oh, man.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man. Well, guys, the Raiders are committed to the basement. I will say, if I do want to at least be somewhat positive about this pick, because it's not like a total disaster pick. It's just a low ceiling pick. But at the end of the day, if we're strictly talking about wins added, as far as the ability to stretch a defense, to score big plays, to make the defense play differently, to force them to play left-handed, basically, PFF has actually suggested that Henry Ruggs is the most valuable receiver in this class in that sense, or at least that he could be, not that he is, that he could be the most valuable receiver in this class in that sense, because again, he kind of makes the defense play left-handed in that sense. Maybe. Yeah, Ruggs is a real touchdown scorer, but he's got to get open. And, getting open is one thing, but getting open just by running fast is something that a lot of people would be able to do in the NFL if that was all that mattered. But it's not.
Right.
There's more to it than that. It really blows my mind that they went Ruggs over Jeudy. Because, again, like I just said, Jeudy is the one dude on Alabama that has consistently outproduced Ruggs every single way in their 2 relevant years together as teammates. And they went with the faster guy. They just needed that game-breaking, field-stretching speed. So there you go. Oh! Trade alert! Tampa Bay just traded up with the 49ers? Wait, no! Are they trading up? Wait. Okay, I don't want to get too excited about this. because they've made some boneheaded picks in the last couple of years. So this could just be like a fucking Javon Kinlaw garbage pick. This could be a nothing pick. But what if they just went and got Jerry Jeudy? Like, what if they're just like, you know what? We have Tom Brady, we have Mike Evans, we have Chris Godwin, we have Rob Gronkowski. Let's complete the deck. Let's get Jerry freaking Jeudy, have the sickest offense in the league, and just win every game 72-45.
Yeah, there you go.
Great shot there, dude.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Oh, man. It says that Tampa traded up, but it still has them listed as picking 14th overall. So I wonder if they traded, like, a big piece to move up, or if they traded, like, 2021 picks. Oh, actually, they just updated it. They literally traded up one pick. They went from 14 to 13. I wonder if that is for a receiver, because what would San Francisco have taken that Tampa Bay wanted to stop them from getting, right?
Right.
That San Francisco was willing to trade out of. I really don't know.
I guess that's another key to a strong draft is don't just focus on your own picks, but focus on how to exploit the picks of others, because you never know if they'll make a folly that you could capitalize on.
Look at Bruce Arians chilling out on his fucking deck. What a boss. This chubby dude rocking shorts and a beret. Oh my god. Are you around?
Yes. Crap, they hit me. Fuck.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, they totally destroyed me there. I'm all disoriented right now. There we go. But I was going to say, yeah, just social distancing and looking chill as fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man. Oh, man. I really want to know what Tampa just traded up one pick to get. Yeah, but not soon enough, though.
Kids are excited. Look at them. They're all jumpy and scary.
I mean, they could have picked nobody and they'd be excited. They have Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. That's so silly.
Have we, I mean, we probably have, so again, I don't want you to needlessly repeat yourself, but have we had any have we had any teams really focus on defense? Because you're talking about how
Well,
stagnant
there have only
offense
no
could be.
team has had more than one pick yet.
Right. But I guess no pick that a team has made with their one has like emphasized kind of a defensive position.
Well, yeah. I mean, there have been, I think, 4 defensive players taken already.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like second overall was Chase Young. He's an edge rusher. Third overall was Jeff Okuda. He's a corner. Oh, here we go, Tampa. Let's do this. Yeah, we know about the trade. Just tell us who they pick. Yeah. Is this going to be Wirfs? It is Wirfs. They traded up to protect Golden Boy Tom. Good for Tristan. Man. Wow. I'm still like, I wonder if another team was trying to trade up to 13 and San Francisco called Tampa and like, hey man, we've got this team on the phone. They really want our pick. Are you going to be able to beat their offer?
He's had a lot on his shoulders now if he's protecting Tom Brady.
Yeah. Well, and that's also going to just mean that he's probably going to be better because Tom Brady will not accept anything less than greatness from his players, from his offensive linemen. He'll get on his ass. So now San Francisco is going to fuck around and get Jerry Jeudy 14th overall. Oh, server went down for maintenance. I'm exiting the main menu. Get us into a new game when you can, my friend.
Absolutely. Thank you for letting me know.
But yeah, now San Francisco is going to fuck around and get Jerry Jeudy 14th overall.
Okay.
Or CeeDee Lamb. It could be either one of those guys. That's the thing. This wide receiver class is awful, not in the sense that like it's bad, more in the sense that just nobody knows how to rank these guys. Or rather, there's no consensus on how to rank these guys. I'm sure there are plenty of people that are very confident in their own rankings, but there are just as many people very confident about completely different rankings too. It's a very diversive. Is that the right word?
You said diversive. Wouldn't diverse just suffice?
No. It's like argumentative.
Oh,
Is that not diversive? Is that not the same thing as diversive?
It might be.
Diversive.
Divisive, I think you mean.
Divisive. Thank you. Divisive. That's
Yeah, I knew it was something like it was
divisive.
hitting weird. Yeah,
This is a very divisive wide receiver class. That's the word. Thank you.
Okay.
So, if I was the 49ers, I would be drafting either Justin Jefferson or Jalen Reagor here. But they're probably going to go with Judy or Lamb because those are like the consensus top guys. Oh, man. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is straight up prepping a Super Bowl run.
Damn.
No, they know they have a window. They know Tom Brady's 43 years old. God, they have Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Rob Gronkowski, and they're solidifying their offensive line. Tom Brady. They're probably going to end up drafting like a Clyde Edwards-Helaire running back type guy to be Tom Brady's new James White. I'm telling you, man, they are cranking up for a Super Bowl run. They want it. They want it bad. I'm going to pick a team if you're ready to.
Yeah, let's do it. Can't really say that I blame them. If you've got all the pieces, it's one thing to be a dynasty, but I think a lot of teams would kill for just one ring.
Well, and Tampa Bay actually does already have one, but never hurts to get more than one, right?
No. Well, and how long ago was that ring?
02.
Oh, God. That reminds me of a story I read once. It has nothing to do with football, but it was a guy. Oh, that's right. We keep playing when we score here when we're doing streams. But it was a guy, like, he got laid in his 20s, but he's like one of those toxic, like, masculinity types. And he must have been, like, in his late 40s or whatever. There was a line in the story that was like, he went so long without having sex, his virginity grew back. And it's the same way when you go that long without winning a ring. It's like, does it even matter? Like, it's been 18 years.
There are a lot of teams that have never won a Super Bowl. So Tampa Bay is, they're in the football equivalent of the 1%.
True. Oh, man. But hell, maybe they do have that itch. Like, it's
there are some teams, namely Cleveland and Detroit, I want to say, that have never even been to a Super Bowl, much less won one.
God, imagine that. Like, just even getting there for
even the Falcons have been to two, even though they've lost both.
Yeah. I mean, that's fair points all around, man. I mean, even just getting to that big stage, how vindicating would that be, especially if and I don't want to say like a loser team, but by those metrics, if it's about getting to the big game, yeah. Like, it's got to be surreal. And then when you win, and your thought is, yeah, winning's great, but I want everything. Like, you're just looking how the Patriots have been living the last several years, and it's like, I want that. This one ring isn't enough.
Oh, you know what? I'm a jackass. We've been playing Rocket League this whole time, and I forgot to make it visible to our viewers. There we go. There you go, guys. Now you can actually see the gameplay.
Gameplay while we're talking about potential future gameplay after all these draft picks.
Yeah, way to bring it full circle.
I do what I can.
You do wonderfully every single time.
So
Don't let anybody tell you different.
Oh my God. So Dolphins got Tool, right? Because that was like the big raving pick. So I'm guessing Dolphins games are definitely on your radar.
Oh, for sure.
When football resumes in like 2022 or some shit. They'll fucking get it there.
Son of a bitch, let me have this.
Says every football fan in the world. Yeah, it's gonna really be something if the draft picks this year just collect dust, and then we go into the draft next year. It's like, all right, guys, we're gonna see some green finally look alive.
You're really depressing me right now, and that's not what this place is for.
I'm
This
just
is
like,
supposed to be a safe space for football fans, John.
Edwin's like, this is my inner sanctum, sir. The fuck is this?
Let us just imagine that the season is going to go underway as planned.
If it does, Dolphins games have definitely got to be on your radar.
Yes.
And now, is that just for Tua, or do you like their scheme overall?
No, it's mostly just for Tua.
Is there any teams that you're excited about the scheme overall though, that their games
Well,
will be on your radar?
the Panthers, I really like what they have offensively now. They got a guy named Joe Brady, who's pretty much the orchestrator of Joe Burrow's rise to greatness in college. So I'm really looking to see how Brady does for Carolina. Problem with Carolina is that they don't really have any interesting quarterbacks. Like if Carolina would have gotten Tua, it'd be game fucking over, you know. But so.
It's kind of a shame though, isn't it? Because if I recall correctly, because again, I will admit I haven't been on top of my A game for this. You know how I feel about the draft in recent years and stuff. But didn't the Panthers get a D recently on your report card for the draft? So they kind of blew the first round a little bit. Or am I thinking of another team?
Yeah, that was the team that took Derek Brown. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so could have done better there.
Yep. You are paying attention. I'm proud of you. Let's see. The 49ers got Tampa Bay. Wow. It was for a 4th round pick. So Tampa Bay moved up. Oh my God. They were like, hey, let us trade up one spot and we'll give you a 4th round pick in exchange for a 7th round pick.
That doesn't track to me.
I mean, it's just a really small compensation for move up, but it's also a really small move up, so I kind of get it.
Okay.
Come on, San Fran, who you picking? Is it Lamb or Judy? Lamb or Judy? Or are you going to come out of left field with a weird pick? Like Javon Kinlaw. Oh, it might be Javon Kinlaw. That just hit me. It's totally Javon Kinlaw. Yeah, it is. It's Javon Kinlaw. Oh, that's hilarious.
The feeling.
Oh my God, that's so bad. Oh, God damn it.
The feeling when you just throw a name out there just because and it turns out to be the right answer.
No, it's more like that. If I would have remembered his existence all along, he would have been who I would have been saying from the beginning. But he's such a bad pick that he didn't even cross my mind until I really scratched the surface.
The
NFL
NFL
really scraped the bottom of the barrel, I should say.
The NFL Draft 2020, proving that it sucks to suck, except when it doesn't.
Dude. Okay, here's the thing. Let me put this into context for you, okay?
Okay.
So they already had a player named DeForest Buckner, right? And then this dude, DeForest Buckner, let me actually make sure. I want to see what his accolades are. Because he's a 26-year-old. He just made the Pro Bowl. He's one of the top 5 most disruptive interior defensive linemen in the league. He just made, I don't know if it was just this year was the first one, but he has 1 Pro Bowl under his belt at 26 years old, and they traded him for a 1st round pick, which they just turned around to use on a player at the same exact position as him.
Ooh.
So they're literally just like, let's give away this guy that we know is really fucking good to get younger at a chance at a guy that might be good.
Okay.
Yeah. They basically just traded certainty for youth. That's really what it is. They traded certainty for youth. They said, we know this guy's good for sure, but we'd rather just be younger at this position. Even if it means, there's no guarantee that the guy will be good. And I personally, from a process standpoint, I think Javon Kinlaw is a massive downgrade from DeForest Buckner. Buckner was an amazing prospect coming out of college. Kinlaw, not so much. Great job, dude.
Yeah, did you see how they tried to cut me off? Fuck faces.
Yeah, Abel, that's a good point. Judy and Lamb are slipping a little bit. I don't know. This Denver pick might be Judy. They have their jump ball guy in Sutton. They could use their sort of technician route runner guy in Judy. Denver might end up picking Jerry Judy here. They would still need like a really good stretch guy. Like, oh shit, I think that's gonna go in. Sorry, we gave up a goal already anyway. But yeah, they could still use a stretch guy. They could still use some speed, like a Mike Wallace, Torrey Smith, Deshaun Jackson type of guy. But Judy is a really good, like, technical route runner, get open all the time kind of guy. And Sutton obviously is a great, like, power forward, jump ball kind of guy. All right.
Speaking of Abel, have his Ravens drafted yet?
They pick late, dude. They're gonna pick at like 11:30.
Damn.
I think they're like 28th or 29th overall pick.
Who you hoping for, Abel, you scamp?
I think he wants a wide receiver, but I might have convinced him earlier that an edge rusher would be a better idea, which, you know, not necessarily. It depends on who's available. Like,
hold on to both of those things, Abel. Your dreams and most likely reality. Keep one foot in both, mister.
Oh, man. Denver, the pick is in. It's either Judy or Lamb, I would imagine. God. Justin Jefferson is an interesting possibility, too. I really like him. Jalen Rager wouldn't really fit with them. He already does what Sutton does really well. So, yeah, those are the three guys that I'd be looking at here if I were Denver. Judy, Lamb, Jefferson.
All right.
I also just realized there are a lot of J-name wide receivers in this class. Jerry Judy, Justin Jefferson, Jalen Rager. There's also a Van Jefferson.
I'm gonna pick a team, friend.
All right. Abel, can you do me a big favor while you're in here and look to see where the Packers pick? Because Chiefin just asked, and I'm wondering if he got it right.
Nice shot, friend.
You saw that?
I did. Proud of you.
Yeah. I was like, boom!
So I think I told you that my sister loved the Anteater last night. She said it was amazing.
Yeah.
She said it could be related to the horse, which, I mean, hurtful. You know, but they're both dilapidated looking animals, so I get it.
And when you say dilapidated, what are you really like?
I mean, look, you got
here?
one that its penis practically grew on its face, and the other one that's tonguing its own anus. So, you know, not exactly your family friendly zoo. You know what I'm saying? Some freaky shit going on down there.
It's Judy. The Broncos got Judy, the better Alabama receiver. The one that should have been picked first. Oh. Dude, the Broncos are going to be fun to watch this year. And not just because, like, Judy is a small piece of that puzzle. I already really like the infrastructure that they had in place. I like their quarterback. They have Drew Lock as their quarterback. I like their offensive coordinator, Pat Shurmur, coming from the Giants. I like their number one receiver, Cortland Sutton. I like their tight end, Noah Fant. I love their offensive line coach, Mike Munchak. I really am going to be paying attention to the Broncos this year. I might have to maybe even pick up a few of their players in fantasy.
Didn't the Broncos make the Super Bowl 2 years ago?
I think it was more like 4 years ago.
Okay, because I knew it was somewhat recent.
It was, I think 2015 was the last Super Bowl that they made, actually, with
wow.
They actually won that one, though. They won the 2015 Super Bowl. That was the Von Miller game. It was Denver versus Carolina, and Cam Newton just got absolutely destroyed by Von Miller constantly.
Oh wow, that worked. Whew. Yeah, that's longer ago than I thought. But again, like I've been out of the loop, so like if I'm asking, it's just trying to, find my way down this dark alley, so to speak.
Yeah, Denver
So 2015.
won. They made the Super Bowl in 2014, lost to the Seahawks, and then they won the Super Bowl in 2015.
Okay.
And then I think 2013, the Seahawks lost to the Patriots. That was the one where they threw the ball on the goal line, and everyone was like, "Just run it!" It was like season.
Yeah, I remember that controversy too. Everybody was like apoplectic over that play.
Great job, man. Great job.
Thank you.
Oh, Atlanta, the Falcons are on the clock, actually. They should draft Grant Delpit, but I don't expect them to, so we'll see. They might go corner, they might go Christian Fulton, but I think the better pick would be Grant Delpit. If they are going to go corner, Noah I. Again, it's a name that I don't want to try and pronounce. It's Igbinoghene. So have fun trying to pronounce that. I gave up on it. I just call him Noah I. But he's out of Auburn. If they were going to go corner, he would be the pick that I would go with, not Christian Fulton. But yeah, I think Grant Delpit is a better pick too. So Grant Delpit to me is the pick for Atlanta as far as what they should do. What they will do, Kayvon Chasen seems like a more likely pick. Seems like a very Falcons-y pick.
Falcons still have Coach Quinn and everything, or was there a change in management since I watched?
Nope, that's all still in place for now. And I only even feel the need to say for now because Quinn's on the hot seat for sure. And frankly, Dimitroff should be as well. The general manager.
Man, yeah. I mean, when you have a mob boss for an owner, I mean, I think you're always in the hot seat.
Artie Blank, yeah.
So, Quinn, you blew that lead. I know. We'll get it back.
Boom, baby. Yeah, it's I really like the Broncos, man. I'm excited about the Broncos. The Broncos and the Dolphins are two teams that I'm going to be paying attention to this year.
Well, let's get inside your face a little bit.
What did my face ever do to you?
I mean, it existed amazingly, first of all.
Then why would you want to dissect it?
Well, it's a football stream. You're the football guy. I'm just the filthy casual along for the ride and the Rocket League. So, we talk about teams that don't even get to a Super Bowl. Do you ever find yourself because I know you're a lover of the game more than any individual team.
Yeah.
Do you ever find yourself, it's like a two-part question. Do you ever find yourself rooting for a team because,
yes.
They just get the right scheme. They could be that team that at least goes to a Super Bowl. And then what's the one team? Oh, wow, they snuck that by me.
Cleveland.
I apologize, everyone. Wow, Cleveland, because I was going to say, if there's one team that's never gotten to a Super Bowl that you would love to see get there, and it's Cleveland for you, huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. All right.
I fucking love Baker Mayfield and Odell Beckham and Jarvis Landry and David Njoku. There are just so many players at Cleveland that I really like. And Myles Garrett, I know that he had a big controversy because he fucking swung his helmet at a guy last year, but I still love Myles Garrett, goddammit. And there was actually a big thing came out that apparently the guy that he swung his helmet at said the N-word at him, so.
Oh, well, we stand Myles Garrett in this household if that's true.
Yeah.
Talk shit, get hit, bitch. See, us probing your face wasn't so bad. That was nice. We had a nice
I feel
moment there.
violated.
It's okay. You'll get over it.
Wow.
Hey, the ironic thing is that's more or less the societal response. So,
To probing?
Well, if probing is a very broad term, then yes. Yes, to probing.
It wasn't supposed to be, you bastard.
You love it. You can't quit me.
I never would.
It's what am I going to do? Get someone healthy? That makes good content. Fuck out of here.
Full.
But I'm going to therapy. once a week. Yeah, and not a day more. All right.
Oh man, boy, it sure is stuffy in here, huh?
Yeah.
Oh.
I was trying to think of a way to turn that into like a wealth inequality joke, but
Doesn't work. So let's see, man, the Falcons sure would get better if they picked Justin Jefferson, but I bet you they won't. No,
that's a nice alliteration on that name.
Justin Jefferson, yeah, he's really good too. To me, he's like the surest thing at receiver in this class, in my opinion.
Okay.
Falcons pick is in. I'm waiting for Goodell to show up so that he can announce the pick. Because as you know, a lot of the time it'll say pick is in, and then another 7 minutes will go by before we actually find out who it was. After Atlanta, though, Dallas is on the clock. And if Super Blue was here, he'd be happy. I think he's a Dallas Cowboys fan.
You said Super Bowl is a Dallas Cowboys fan?
I'm pretty sure he is, yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Nice.
Sometimes it's hard to tell because he makes fun of them a lot, but I think it's out of love.
Yeah, I know Just Alex is...
Atlanta Falcons select A.J. Terrell. Oh, my God. Oh, it's worse than Christian Fulton somehow. How did you do that, Falcons?
They went first pick next year.
Yeah, well, oh my God, that's just brutal. Oh,
are we playing for throwback, or do you want me to leave and get us somewhere else?
we'll play it. Fuck it, we'll play it. I'm in dillygaff mode right now, my friend. I don't give a fuck.
Hey, look, if some teams can fuck up their picks, who gives a shit about anything anymore? We might as well, like, if everybody else is going to make bad decisions, let's get in on that revelry. Let's
Just don't pick a team. Oh, you already picked a team. Shit, let me pick a team too. I wanted to make a point about AJ Terrell's awful production, but I couldn't in time.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and I guess it's not Terrell, it's Terrell. So AJ Terrell. Of course he's got a sob story, otherwise the Falcons wouldn't have picked him. They always go for the inspirational pick every year. Over the actual good player, you know.
Oh, God. The American Idol mentality has infected the NFL.
Bro, I was going to say, I tried to set you up with that and you just backed away. God fucking damn it. AJ Terrell is a Falcon. You know, I used to be a Falcons fan. I'm really glad that that burden has been lifted from my shoulders.
Oh my God, this is why a heel turn from you would be amazing. Like, just that sentiment. Yeah, being a fan of this team was a burden to me. God, that's delicious. That's fucking delicious. Oh my God.
Honestly, don't know if I would have even ranked AJ Terrell. If I were to have made perfect, like, completed positional rankings this year, I genuinely don't think Terrell would have made my list. He's got that bad production. Like, his production is just nothing. I really illustrate how bad his production was for you, but I had to pull up a page, and I'm going to have to read from it and all that shit. So I'm going to go get in goal. I'm getting really angry right now.
Oh, post.
Tilting just a tiny little bit.
Reminds me of the league. Post? Fuck! And then Kevin goes on that whole rant.
And that's what led to the Ruxin, I feel like I just won twice thing, wasn't it?
Yeah. Daddy, be careful. Kegel will report to Santa. Look me in the eye, Ellie. There's no Santa. There's no Christmas. There's no God. There's nothing. Always good to break the children in early.
Oh, God. I miss the early seasons of that show. The late seasons were pretty bad, but the early seasons were such gold.
Dude, it really says something when, again, even when I did watch football with you watching Falcons games, I really knew, like, barely fuck all about the game, but those early seasons were fucking dope. I think you just had to understand, like, competitiveness and stuff like that. I don't even think you needed to understand football to really appreciate how good the comedy on that show was.
Yep. And especially once they introduced Rafi.
Yes.
Rafi Bomb!
Scroat Squad for fucking ever.
I just destroyed your testicles with the fist of a child!
Oh, God! My nerds!
By the way, Mom, in case you have no clue what we're talking about, Rafi is a character played by the same dude that voices Jay in Big Mouth. It's pretty much the same character, just in an adult man.
Jason Mantzoukas is a fucking national treasure that should be protected at all costs. And if you disagree, you're wrong. I don't make the rules.
Oh my God, you went all the way there.
And I brought it back. And he cashed the check with his talent. So
yeah, he did.
I mean, he was in The Good Place and he killed in that too. And I fucking love that show. And I think we have some people even in the stream that love that show.
You know what? The Cowboys are their pick is in. They should pick Justin Jefferson. This is going to be one of those situations where I'm just begging these teams to draft a wide receiver and they're just like, no.
The only football analysis that would matter to a guy like me, because I'm feeling somewhat delirious and slightly turned up right now, is
I knew it.
Is which team got the players with the best sounding names? Because that should be wild sometimes.
I mean, already you love Tua Tagovailoa.
Yeah, I mean, oh my God, that alliteration made me moist, fam. Holy shit. So we'll see.
He has a brother named Talia. So there's literally a Talia Tagovailoa as well.
Now, that family knows what they're doing. Come on now.
100% yes.
They know what the fuck they're doing, and you're not going to convince me otherwise.
Oh my God, this has been fun. That's it. Fuck your faces, bots.
Ooh.
They don't even have faces. They have interfaces.
Tom Phillips be like, can I provide play-by-play to this?
Did you really just no-sell my joke? That was amazing.
I honestly only halfway heard it. What was it?
I said they don't have faces, they have interfaces.
Oh, that was okay.
Fuck you.
You're so insecure.
That was a good fucking joke, God damn it.
It's okay. You'll hash it out in therapy.
I don't go to therapy, you ass.
Well, then I'll do it for you. I'll be like, hey, Deborah, my friend's feeling really insecure because this joke he took excessive pride in didn't land. How do I tell him to get over it? And then she'll just be like, he's not here.
Maybe you should be more supportive of your friend and tell him that he is funny.
Don't project the answer you want to hear on the discourse. And speaking of anything, donate $3 a month to the TwitWow Patreon to get access to the Discord.
Holy shit, dude! I think Dallas took CeeDee Lamb. What? This is amazing. Dallas is about to light the world on fire next year, or I guess this year. Let's not talk about next year.
Yeah, let's not.
Yo, Dallas just took CeeDee. They have CeeDee Lamb, Amari Cooper, and Michael Gallup now. They have got to have the best trio of starting wide receivers in the league right now. Like, that's nuts to me. That is absolutely stupid.
I'm going to pick a team if that's all right with you, friend.
Yes, let's, please. Take my mind off of the ass raping that the Cowboys are about to inflict upon the rest of the NFL this year.
That's funny because I normally see, but then again, let me very much qualify, my statement here. I know from our we're both friends of Sal, and I know like he posts like a lot of like memes or like joke stuff about Tony Romo, and I always felt like Cowboys were kind of a joke team, but are they fucking suiting up for this shit?
Oh,
like-
yeah, brother. They have a really good quarterback, and now they have an incredible wide receiver trio. They have a really good offensive line. They are in contention for best offense in the NFL 2020.
Oh my God, Cowboys! Meme us now. I don't want to. I don't have any contact.
Like, I don't want to. You beat my favorite team already.
Yeah. And you know what? It's going to keep happening until you learn. Learn what? You should have never fucked with us to begin with.
God damn. I scored on us. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I was trying to stop it, but I wasn't fast enough, so I just helped them put it in.
I mean, honestly, looking at that trajectory, they would have scored regardless. So, if anything, you tried to stop it, and that's enough.
Yeah.
See, I can be supportive when the moment calls for it.
Yeah.
But
the
yeah, man.
inconsistency that really ruins my mental well-being.
Yeah, it'll be fine. But you know, I just again speaking from a very limited experience, it's just funny that I see the Cowboys consistently like get dunked on, and now they may be the team doing the dunking this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's some wild.
That Cowboys offense is looking sexy as hell right now. They got a new head coach too, and that new head coach is the passingest coach in the NFL. Oh baby, I'm so excited, and I don't even want to hide it.
Oh God, I was gonna go there, and you're like, fam, I'm doing it.
I own property there.
Yeah. Don't act like I don't have real estate right now. Oh my God.
Oh my God. You know, it makes a lot of sense too, because the Cowboys with Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup, they always were, this past year, they had a really good offense, but they were really just like struggling to find that third receiver. Like they tried Devin Smith and he was okay. They tried really hard to make Tavon Austin a thing, but he's just garbage. They might like Cedric Wilson, but he obviously hasn't shown enough for them to just not be willing to move on from him. So now they're just like, you know what? Fuck you. We're just going to have 3 amazing receivers, and we're not going to even have to think about who our third guy is. It's just going to be set in stone. He's going to be dominant.
Here's a question for you that I'm going to have to qualify a bit because I know things have changed. Who would you say the Chicago Cubs are of the NFL pre-World Series win that they had recently a few years ago?
Okay, so I don't follow baseball enough to even know what this equivalent is. So you got to look.
I feel like it was like a decades drought, if not longer, before they won their World Series recently. That they just never won a World Series. I don't think they'd never been champions. So like,
well, there are a lot of teams then that have never won a Super Bowl.
But like, I guess, what about the teams though that have like been to a Super Bowl but still haven't won one and don't have a ring? That's a question.
I mean, prior to this year, I would have said Kansas City, but they just won.
Oh yeah.
So
they just won one. Okay. Yeah, because I'm just wondering if there's any team. I guess what I'm really asking is, which would kind of be the opposite of the Cubs pre their win. But again, maybe that would just be would just be Cleveland, like you said earlier, like a team that just they should have all the tools to win and be champions, but just for whatever reason, it's just never worked out for them. And I guess I'm just always curious, like looking at.
I mean, in that case, it might be the Falcons, honestly, because the Falcons have had multiple seasons where they should have won the Super Bowl and they blew it.
Yeah. God,
I don't think they're going to win the Super Bowl this year. I don't think they honestly, the competition they have in the AFC or the NFC South, they might not even make the playoffs this year, honestly.
Damn. What a fall from grace.
I mean, is it really, though?
I mean...
They had one incredible, amazing, generational type season, and the guy who orchestrated that season left.
Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah.
He's the head coach of the 49ers now, who just made the Super Bowl, so I wonder who the real genius was in that 2016 season.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If the Falcons had foresight, I would certainly hope that they would cut ties with Dan Quinn and promote Kyle Shanahan to be their head coach after that 2016 season, rather than just letting him walk.
Right.
but they just let him walk. So yeah, it's you're not going to be as good after that.
Shanahan's still with the Giants, you said? So that's
49ers.
That's
49ers.
Oh, 49ers. Excuse me, 49ers.
Wrong.
All right.
Let's go team. The Giants are baseball. It's the New York Giants for football. Tua's talking right now. Hello.
Probably just like, I know there's a lot of hype around me, and it's legitimate.
He's so talented. Wow, you bastards. Oh, apparently I need to break out the band hammer.
Oh, was it just spam, or was it just somebody being a douche?
I don't fucking know. Ban. There we go. I did it, guys! I did it!
Proud of you.
Proud of your face. For existing!
Oh my god, that was the hardest part, honestly. I'm so glad somebody noticed.
Dolphins pick is in. That's right, the Dolphins pick again because they have 3 picks in the first round. They had number 5 where they took Tua. Now they've got number 18. Please take Justin Jefferson. Please.
Please help him move on up. Nice hit there. Did you go wow really low under your breath there? I think I heard it. Did you? I knew it. Yes. God, I'm so horrible.
They took Austin Jackson. That's an interesting pick. They got an offensive tackle. See, now they come back around. 26th overall is where they take their wide receiver. They got the quarterback. They got the guy to protect the quarterback. Now they got to get a guy that the quarterback can throw to. Oh, yeah, the trifecta, baby. The trifecta positional value.
Ooh, that's intense.
I hope I'm right. I hope they pick an offensive.
Yeah, it's like.
I hope they pick a receiver, I should say. Oh, man. I readied up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a few moments.
I'm gonna look Austin Jackson's athletic testing numbers up because I didn't do a whole lot of research on him. Austin Jackson, 7.95 is not good. So he's got good speed and explosion, but he's more of a power blocker than a zone blocker. So I hope Miami runs a power scheme and not a zone scheme because that's where he would fit. And if they do, then I would say good pick. Let me actually look at Austin Jackson here. All right, there we go. Yeah! Austin Jackson has a Pro Bowl caliber offensive tackle profile. Elite explosion and speed. Yeah, looks like a really good player. Day 1 selection. Good job, Miami. Miami's doing good, guys.
All right, Dolphins. All right, I think I'm going to ready up and pick a team. Actually, no, I'll just pick a team. Clock ran out.
I'll pick your face.
Oh, ooh.
Someone just pinged me. All right, I'm going to join blue. Let's get this thing underway. I guess I'm going here for a kickoff.
All right.
I'm going to... Oh, wait, you just scored. Oh, no.
Nope.
Fuck. Oh, that's going to go in, isn't it? Shit. You're not going to get there in time, are you? No, you did! Good job, yes! Oh, baby. Put it in. Put it... Oh, wow, that's what she said.
I was gonna go... Yes. Am I going or are you here?
You can go.
Fuck it, I'm going.
Yeah, like I said, you can go. Someone just pinged me on the NFL Draft Discord, and I wanted to respond to their shit. That should go in. It might be wide left. Shit, it's going to be wide left, isn't it? God damn it, of course. You fucks. No, you bastard. God damn it.
I almost actually want to leave this stage because I never really liked it. Can we just leave? I'll get us in a new one.
Sure, if you want.
Yeah, fuck it.
Yeah, I like that stage because I feel like we can score a lot on that stage, but if you want to leave, we can bail.
I mean, yeah, normally I'd be cool, but we gave up a goal. I feel like
I care more about your mental health and your actual enjoyment of the game than scoring a lot of points.
Aw, look at you. You're so sweet. All right. Oh, really? Fuck it, we'll do it. It's throwback again. I feel like I traded something that was like, for something like objectively bad, but fuck it. Another lesson in the NFL draft. If you're going to trade, make it fucking count.
Las Vegas is now on the clock again. They got Henry Ruggs earlier. Justin Jefferson should be the pick here, but it's not going to be.
Yes! God, I juggled the shit out of that ball there. Well,
yeah, you did.
You
did an amazing job, man.
Didn't even leave the ground. Yeah.
I want to know who the Raiders picked. I want to know who the Raiders picked. 19th overall. Here we go. Who's it going to be? Come on! Stop beating around the bush, Goodell.
Yeah, nobody likes you.
I mean, that's just objectively true. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? Las Vegas Raiders select. Fucking who? Damon. Another dude. Prestige bias at its best. They just picked the number 2 Ohio State corner, Damon Arnett. I've literally not even heard this dude's name. Yeah, no, it's just wow. Oh, dude, the Raiders have fully bought into the prestige bias. Their first pick was an overrated Alabama receiver, and their second pick was a basically unheard of Ohio State corner. Oh my God, Vegas. You know, they moved to Vegas, but they sure don't give any shits about actual statistics and odds.
Yeah.
They're going full court press against Vegas culture. Fuck your numbers. Give me the guys from the big schools.
Oh, man. Prestige bias is a bitch.
What'd you say?
I said prestige bias is a bitch.
It is, dude. It's even funnier when we get to just view it as it happens live.
I mean, again, I didn't anticipate any of this. I'm just like, I thought about it randomly because, again, I know it's a problem that plagues my passion.
Dude, here's the thing.
I'm just like, wow.
If you can think of a bias or a logical fallacy, the NFL is guilty of it.
Yeah.
The worst one in the NFL is probably sunk cost fallacy.
Oh, God, yeah. And we've seen that in WWE in recent years. Am I right, Rhonda?
It's so delicious when you predict somebody making a terrible mistake and then watch them make it.
God, that's the best kind of Schadenfreude. Because it's somebody, like, just failing, but you're also right at the same time.
See, that's how I get off right there.
Ashton's like, who the fuck told you what my kink was?
See, if I was better with my words, I would have said it that way. But.
Bro, I gotta tell you. Now, let me just qualify this by saying, I know we've both talked about, like, Steve Harvey as a person, and he's a pretty awful fucking dude, but I will admit, I do watch him, like, hosting Family Feud, like, these clips, because it could be genuinely funny sometimes. I watched a clip today of the Fast Money round of this one family, and the first guy, right, because in Fast Money, you need 200 points to get the $20,000.
Yeah.
This first guy with his answers gets 187 points.
Oh.
He's like, We fucking got it. We got it.
And they
then
didn't.
this-
They failed.
and
They got
they
like
didn't.
9 more points.
Dude, this guy, yeah, pretty much, because the other guy, and dude, the brother was looking at him like, not only you out the family, if I fucking see you, like, you're not safe. You can fucking protect yourself. Because he's like, this dude, even I laughed, because again, like, you know what my passion is and what my passion isn't. I won't say that I'm a specialist in, like, biology or zoology either. But, like, there was this question, name an animal that kicks up its heels. And this dude goes, giraffe. And it gets 0 points. Like, I feel like the first brother, the one that got 187, said horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this dude with $20,000 on the line is just like, I'm going to say giraffe. That's going to go well. Oh my God, dude. He didn't even, because normally at the very end, especially when you win, of course, but even when you lose, you know, it's a family thing. Everybody embraces each other and they get to come back. So it's not like, you know, it was their one shot. So long as you win, it's just like Jeopardy. You get to come back and keep, you know, adding to your total. The brother didn't even hug him at the end, dude. He was waiting for him outside. I feel it.
That's
like,
amazing.
He didn't even hug him. He was just looking like, you blew it. You blew it. Like, I set the
You know what
table.
makes that scenario even funnier to imagine?
What's that?
If beforehand the first brother that went was like, dude, fuck you. I'm so much smarter than you. I'm going to win this game for us on my own. The second brother was like, oh, well, you better hope you do, bitch.
Yeah. Oh.
And then the second brother is just so fucking witty and just naturally, like, quick-witted and sharp that he was able to come up with all of those answers that would intentionally get low points to prove a point to his brother.
Yeah. Oh my God.
That's why that's why he didn't skip a beat, man. An animal to kick his legs up. Fuck you, alligator, bitch.
Dude, if that was true, the only thing that would have made it perfect is if he would have side-eyed the brother and just mouthed, fuck you, and then just said giraffe. Oh
That's too
God.
good.
Oh God. Oh God, see, that's my kink right there. Holy shit. Oh dude, I've seen people, I don't think anybody's done it in the Steve Harvey iteration, but in like the old version of Family Feud, there have been people that just get 200 points by themselves.
Yeah.
The most I've seen on the Steve Harvey version, I think, is like 198. And that's even worse, dude. Imagine if you couldn't get 2 points and you just got goose eggs for every answer.
Name a color that people like their car to be. I'm gonna go with.
Yeah, exactly.
And then Steve's just like, "Oh, you mean yellow? No, I said banana."
Put it on the goddamn board. But we could just put it on the board now.
And then they put yellow instead, and it still only gets 1 point. It's like, fuck you.
Yeah. Dude, this is actually the best we've done on this stage in a long time, I feel like.
Yeah, 11-0, and I was barely even paying attention to playing. I feel like
Dude, I feel like we got like, did we get like 5 or even 6 goals in the first fucking minute on this stage?
I don't know. We might
Like,
have. I wasn't paying
I think we
attention. I
did.
have no clue. I blanked. My mind is only focused on giraffes and elephants.
Giraffes and elephants. Yeah, dude, I can tell you with confidence, we got 5 points at least in the first minute on this fucking stage.
Oh,
like, wow.
Man.
I love that I had
was
Horde
fun,
coming back.
though. That was fun. The conversation, I mean, the game was whatever. The conversation was.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah, like, and then on the car ride home, it's like, 2 points. You just needed 2 fucking points. Why did you do this? And then they give some elaborate story about how they overheard the family talking shit about them, and it's like, well, you're gonna learn today. Oh man.
Oh my god.
I'm guessing the draft's got the walls this time.
It's just still the Raiders pick, dude. Damon Arnett. Like, who the fuck even is this guy? Let me see if he's in my draft guide. Damon Arnett.
Yeah, well, I can already tell you that
He
Will's
is.
the better Arnett.
He's here. Okay. So, he produced like a backup He has the speed of a backup. He has the age of an all-pro, and he's the size of a Pro Bowler. But the way it works is you don't just average him out, you go by the lowest. So he's a backup.
Okay.
Oh, the Jags, I think, just picked. Was it the Jags? Just went 20th overall? Yeah, the Jags just went, and they picked Caleb Von Chasen. Oh, my God. I guess the teens and the early 20s are the part of the draft where the trash picks start rolling in.
Oh, man. Oh, man.
Oh, my God. I'm okay. I just want you to know, John, that I am okay. I just am made of giggle soup right now. So let's get the ladle. Let's get into this game.
God, it's happening!
Can we get into
God,
this game?
yeah, yes.
Christ.
Never forget the first time I made that joke and we're playing Brawlhalla and you were just corpsing so fucking hard. And you're like, don't do this to me. I gotta play.
Oh, my God. I blame you. And I missed. Well, at least the Jags made one good pick in the first round. It's a shame they couldn't make two.
Yeah, that's always disheartening to see, even in the few drafts that I like actively watched with you. It's like you see a team start out really well, but they can't close. Like, you would just like to see a team just have a good night all around.
Yeah.
Not like, muddle the waters.
Oh, you know what? I pulled this thing up to prove a point. It was Ohio State, though. Let me go back here. There we go. Shoo-ga-da-ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. Yeah. Oh, they just showed Grant Delpit. I wonder if that means that the Eagles are going to pick him. They're on the clock, by the way. Oh, the Eagles should pick Justin Jefferson or Jalen Reagor. Oh, either one of those would be such good picks. Eagles need receivers so bad. Pick one of them. Reagor or Jefferson. Come on, Eagles. Pick one of the J first name receivers.
Yeah. As a J first name person myself, this representation is very important to me in the draft. So
I know. You see this guy and you're like, you know what? I can be an NFL first round pick.
Yeah.
Because I too have a J first name.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Keep the dream alive, Jay.
Boom. Damn it. Fuck. Fuck! Oh, that's going in. Wow. You're really giggly tonight.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, fuck you, controller. Okay. All right. God, I really hope the Eagles take a receiver. Or Grant Delpit. Either one of those guys I'd be happy with. I like Delpit a lot. And they need coverage help. So either one of those guys. Really, I would say number 1 is Justin Jefferson. Number 2 is Jalen Reagor. Number 3 is Grant Delpit as far as who I would pick for the Eagles. But you can pick any of them. You've got your choice, Philly. Did he just say Justin Jackson?
Justin Jefferson.
I know that's the guy's name, but I think he said Justin Jackson. This guy, Desmond Howard. But yeah, Justin Jefferson would be a great pick for the Eagles. I would love that. The league is better when the Eagles are good.
Oh, they picked. Pick
Yeah,
is
the
in.
pick has been in for like a minute or two, at least.
God, this guy's boring.
Yeah, that's Goodell. He gets paid $10 million a year. Actually, not 10, tens of millions of dollars a year.
Does he get paid more for the longest that he takes up talking and
No, I don't think so. He's just gets to do it. They're going to tell him to stop. He's the boss of everyone. Oh, they took Rager! Oh, yes! Eagles on my radar in 2020 for sure. Yeah,
Nice.
I love Jalen Rager. Oh, man. Yes, yes, yes. My dude. The highest upside receiver in this class, as far as I'm concerned. Jalen Rager, to me, his most likely outcome is Brandon Cooks, but his ceiling is Steve Smith Sr. This dude is a my ball receiver. He firmly believes that that ball is his, and he will fucking stab a bitch that tries to stop him from getting it. He is a dog. This dude will go up and get it with the best of them. He goes after the ball. He attacks the ball. And it helps that he's fast and he's really good at getting open. And when he happens to not be open, it doesn't fucking matter because he's always open, because just put the ball near him and he's coming the fuck down with it.
Nice.
Jalen Rager is my personal favorite receiver in this class.
Ah, very nice.
He's not my number one. He doesn't, he's not like a consensus top pick as far as analytics go. He's just my personal favorite guy. I think he has the highest upside in this class.
I mean, you did say he'd stab a bitch for the ball, and I am partial to people that
I
keep their mind open to
firmly
shanks.
believe that if weapons were allowed in football, he would be the type of dude that would do that. Because
I mean,
he's so aggressive when he attacks that ball. Like, he's just amazing. He is that's the thing about receivers. To me, there are two different types of receivers. There are the receivers that let the ball come to them, and there are receivers that go get the ball. And he is absolutely on the extreme side of going and getting the ball.
I mean, anybody that has their mind open to shanks is somebody that I deeply respect.
Okay, he's
So,
not literally stabbing people. He's a good person, okay?
Well, this is why I was low-key rooting for the XFL, because we probably would have gotten there eventually. But,
God. I was rooting for the XFL because it provided employment opportunities.
Well, yeah, because you're a good person. We done knew.
Goal. Go get the ball, Jalen. You the man. Oh, and now the Vikings are on the clock and they can take Justin Jefferson. Ooh. How does Murray do it?
Yeah.
I love Jalen Rager. He's so good. And I'm so glad he ended up on a genuinely good team. Oh, shit. Discord is down, I think. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you fine, man.
Yeah, our connection is fine. It's just Discord is fucked. I gotta refresh.
Boo!
Discord broke. Gesundheit, mama.
thank you.
Let me read Jalen Rager's analytics profile. Ready for this?
Yeah.
Jalen Rager has elite production, age, and athleticism traits. He lacks flexibility that may harm him in the long run, but his explosiveness and speed are impressive for someone of his size. He has a day 1 to day 2 value. However, his profile is eerily similar to Jalen Strong in terms of flexibility. And I want to add on to this personally, by the way, that he actually did do retests of his speed and flexibility drills at like a personalized pro day that has videos online that you can go watch. And he ended up running way faster in the agility drills. And he cut like a second to a second and a half off of his 40 time. So he's just got a complete profile at this point. Like, he's just unstoppable. Just
nice.
World. Like, yeah, Jalen Reagor's the man. I love this dude. Anyway.
Am I going to pick a team?
Yes. I was just going to say, I'm ready to pick a team. Vikings are on the clock right now, 22nd overall. I'm pulling for them to pick Justin Jefferson, although I'm not banking on it. Just because the Vikings are fucking weird with who they pick. They're a weirdly conservative team. I shouldn't say weirdly, because conservative is kind of the norm in the NFL, but they are a very conservative team. Like, they're the type of team that is not only not using analytics, but they go again, like they spit in the face of analytics, you know?
Yeah. We don't need your data. Football isn't for nerds.
The jocks are taking it back, bitches. Your opinion doesn't count unless you've played the game before.
Yeah. But our algorithms could help you get a Super Bowl ring. Yeah, talk to me about it when you can fucking lift.
Did Vince Lombardi ever use your fucking spreadsheets, you geek?
I think we do a pretty good imitation of bullying in NFL culture.
It's because we're so good at bullying ourselves.
I'm proud of it!
Oh my god. Oh. Man, Discord took an absolute shit. Discord got swifty in the sense that they shit on the floor.
Speaking of, won't be long now until those latter half of Rick and Morty episodes are released May 3rd.
Oh, yeah, may the 3rd be with you.
Oh my god!
Really didn't have to be a big deal.
I mean, well, you shouldn't have said it all cool and shit.
Aw,
you know how we work
You're
here.
such a sweetie, you.
Listen to you.
Now I understand why my mom calls you that all the time.
My sister plays a shit ton of Animal Crossing. And
I am not surprised at all by that fact.
And
wasn't she super into Stardew Valley as well?
I think a little bit, yeah. And then she tried to get the family involved in Farming Simulator. That was a dud.
I think Abel's trying to be cute. He just said the Patriots traded up to 23, but that's just actually where they're picking from.
Oh, Abel, you scamp.
They had the 23rd overall pick the whole time.
Nice job,
dude. Oh, man. Their general manager and their defensive-minded head coach are the only people that we're actually seeing. So this could very easily be a defensive player. Which, like, just silly. Because y'all need to fix your offense. You lost Stephon Diggs. You can't be fucking around with defensive picks. Fuck you, Goodell. They took Jefferson! Yes, Minnesota! Man, I was fully prepared to dunk on them. Oh, man. I'm so happy for them.
So what conference is Minnesota in?
The NFC. Wait, conference? The NFC.
Oh well, is it NFC East or is it
North,
like does it go,
the division? Yeah, the NFC.
Damn. Because if it was East, that would have been too perfect. Because I would have been like, so you're literally saying Jefferson's moving on up to the East side, and just didn't work out that way.
He's just moving on up, north.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, that was so close. Oh my god, that was so close. Oh well.
Yeah, NFC North.
Well, we'll get it. There'll be another Jefferson. It's just inevitable.
I mean, there's a Van Jefferson.
Eh.
He just is awful, though. I think he's the second lowest graded wide receiver that I have this year out of like 30 some prospects.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's really bad. Oh, the Chargers actually just traded up to number 23. The Patriots had 23, now the Chargers have 23. I think Abel's a little backwards with his what he thinks is going on here. The Patriots had 23rd overall, and the Chargers just traded up to 23rd. So now the Chargers are on the clock. Who the hell are they going to take here? Are they going to maybe take like Delpit or McKinney? God, do they really need another safety? I guess they could use a free safety, so Delpit would make some sense. Fuck you, dude. Oh, the Chargers pick is in. Wow, that was fast. They did. They traded up. They were all decisive and shit. I really want, because they already got Herbert. Are there any? Are they gonna get like fucking Mims? Oh my god. I hope not. All right, here we go. See, I'm actually like, I'm happy for the Vikings offense staying efficient that they got Justin Jefferson, but I'm a little bit disappointed for Justin Jefferson that he went to a team that doesn't like to pass the ball a lot.
Right.
Like, this dude just had a 1,540 or 1,580 or something like that yard season. Because he was on a team that threw like 600 passes or some crazy shit like that. And now he's about to go to a team that might throw like 450 times. It's really frustrating.
You hate to say it.
I do love Justin Jefferson, though. I think he's a really good player. So, like I said, it's good for Minnesota's offense. I just don't like that they don't like to throw.
Yeah, because then, I mean, I'm not saying it's like a wasted pick by any means, but if they don't even like to throw, I mean, yeah, it's good for their offense, but isn't it as only, if I could speak, isn't it only as good for their offense as they're willing to make use of it? Like,
yeah, pretty much, yeah. But even then, like, having him on the field in their minds, now again, this is all not actually backed by data, it's all very, like, almost like bro science for football. In their minds, having him on the field will make their run game better too, because he's more of a threat to catch passes, and teams will have to respect that, and they won't be able to stack the box as much. But what they don't realize is that teams don't stack the box based on threat level. They stack the box based on personnel. So it's, you know, it's one of those things where it's just a complete and utter lack of understanding of how things actually work.
right.
That's going to hit the ground for sure. Yeah. I want to know who the Chargers pick. Come on now. I will say that the worst pick of the draft so far is still Derek Brown, 7th overall. That is atrocious.
Damn.
Carolina should feel really bad about that, but they probably don't.
And that's the problem.
That's part of the problem for sure, yeah. Honestly, I don't know. I think my favorite... I don't know. Wait. Actually, the Chargers selection is in. Chargers... The 23rd pick. 2020? Yeah. Los Angeles Chargers select... Kenneth Murray, linebacker. Okay. I don't hate it. I don't love it. That's like a C grade for me.
So you're just ambivalent on it, really?
Yeah, like it's a decent pick. It's a decent player. I don't think he's anything special. I don't think he's bad. I actually haven't done a grade since 8th overall. CJ Henderson, A. Jedrick Wills, C. Mekhi Becton, C. Henry Ruggs, D. Actually, I'll give that a C because it's a good position to pick. I just don't like the player. Tampa Bay, we'll give that a B. San Francisco, D. Jerry Jeudy, B. Actually, yeah, we'll stick with a B there. AJ Terrell. Honestly, no, it's a good position process. I'll give him a D. CeeDee Lamb to the Cowboys. That's an A for sure. Miami taking Austin Jackson. I'll give it a C. The fucking Raiders taking Damon Arnett. D. Caleb Von Chasen to the Dolphins. C. Jalen Reagor to the Eagles. Ooh. I think I got to give him an A for that, honestly. And then Jefferson to the Vikings is also an A. And then the Chargers picking Murray, I already said, was a C for me. So, all right, I've got all my grades in on the Discord, and the Discord is back online, by the way. I guess that's worth mentioning.
I have all my grades in your face, and you got straight A's. Congratulations. I'm picking.
You know what? I had this gut feeling that I would get that kind of grade, and here we are.
Yeah.
All right. You ready?
Yep, let's do it.
Kenneth Murray, 23rd overall to the Chargers because the Patriots, I think the Patriots actually traded out of the first round completely. They were just like, peace the fuck out, deuces. We don't want any piece of this shit. You got that?
Probably not.
That's in. Oh, bastard. Why are you laughing at me for incorrectly predicting your success?
I mean,
John's over here just like, ha ha, I failed. You were wrong. Shows you to believe in me.
It'd be like that sometimes. Oh my god.
Wow, you just sound like a cricket, sir.
Oh no, that clapback was amazing though. I love when you just get so tired of my shit, but you still clap back like in the nicest way possible. But your tone is like that of such a mom. It's really perfect. It's a perfect storm you got going on there.
I'll perfectly storm your face.
Oh, please do.
Like the beaches of Normandy.
Oh my god, way to date yourself.
It's not like I lived through it. Fuck. Oh my god, you prick. That was like a cute little mini squeak. I heard that.
Yeah, you did.
I'm waiting for you to be like, you weren't supposed to hear that.
I'm actually glad you did, given all the shit we were dealing with lately with my mic volume. Fuck.
Yeah. Nobody even knows about that because it was resolved when we went live the first time.
Hooray.
Hooray for face.
That's the only reason I haven't really even gave a shit in the first place is because I know we do a lot of recording here, so...
John's just like, Bestie never had to hear my voice again as long as it meant that we could record.
Yeah.
That should go in. If I don't fuck up. I didn't.
Proud of you.
Guess who's on the clock, bud?
Who?
The New Orleans Saints.
Ew.
Well, you don't have to hate him anymore if you're not a Falcons fan, you know.
Oh, that is true. Didn't you tell me that it seemed like they paid a ref off? Or maybe it was just like a ref just seemed to be on their side because it was like, oh, you know, we're going to milk Katrina. So, fuck him anyway.
Yeah, well.
And, well, really, if anything, fuck the organization the same way I'd say fuck WWE for, like, grossly exploiting Eddie's death for, like, a fucking storyline. Great job, bud.
What is today? Thursday, right?
You bet your sweet ass it is.
Oh, how sweet is my ass?
I had an
John
answer
is
for that.
genuinely confused that I brought this.
Yeah, I know. I was like, damn. I really wasn't ready for that. Shit.
Is it just sweet or is it sweet and sour?
I'd say sweet and sour, which for me is a plus.
I was gonna say like sweet and sour pork. Dude, fucking Lola in Big Mouth kills me.
What? Anything?
I'm a dump truck.
For like a millisecond, I confused Lola with Jesse, and I was gonna be like, "Oh, what did you hear?" But then
Jesse
like,
is just the best character on the show, but Lola is probably the best comic relief on the show. Her or Coach Steve for sure.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, I wonder when Big Mouth's like next season's gonna come out.
I mean, the last couple seasons came out in September/October, so I'm guessing then.
I wonder if that's still gonna be on schedule because I wonder how far along they were before.
I also wonder if they can't just get it done from home. Like, do they really all need to be in the same place in order to get it done? They probably had like an at-home process regardless.
Yeah. That's what I'm wondering too about shows like South Park. Are they still going to be able to be on schedule?
Yeah.
Especially because like we know how they produce their episodes. I don't know if it's still the same, but I remember that documentary.
I mean, it's
years ago.
quick as hell. So if coronavirus quarantines are lifted by a week before the first episode airs, they're good.
Like I got my Randy Marsh push this latest season, which all of us
he was such a main eventer.
Dude, all of us Randy Marsh fans, we done knew. We're like, we know he could carry a season by himself, and like, yeah, we were right. So I don't know.
Maintained all the integrity.
I don't know if we'll peep in on Integrity Farmers again, but it would be amazing if it'd be like, go Sharon! Nobody's buying any weeks, everybody's too concerned about social distancing. Go!
No, it would be the opposite. Go Sharon! We can't keep up with the supply, the demand, because of how many people are staying in and getting high all day now.
Yeah, that's true. God, and then...
I need a Randy Marsh stress-induced anxiety attack.
And then because they're trying to meet demand, they hire people, and then it's Randy just trying to convince the mayor that they're essential workers. And then it just like shows the shadiness of actual business practices. Like, so Mr. Marsh, are you going to offer them hazard pay? What? No.
What the hell is hazard pay? I didn't even know that was a thing. Go.
Yeah, exactly. Dude, I feel like we're low-key putting together like the first South Park episode for the next season. Like,
oh my God, the Saints drafted Cesar Ruiz. They're just going all in on their offensive line. Last year they drafted Eric McCoy. Now they got Cesar Ruiz. Oh my God. Cheesers. Update your shit, draft Discord.
Yeah, what the fuck? I'm sorry, I really shouldn't
No.
have been that passionate
You were
about
appropriately angry. You expressed my sentiments exactly. I just cracked my elbow. The Vikings are on the clock again. This will be their defensive pick, like Xavier McKinney or something like that. We're like, oh God, what if they take Patrick Queen? Ew. Are you ready to pick a team, my friend?
Yeah, sure, bud.
Ugh.
Pick the team.
So did I.
Oh my god.
I may have let out a little squeak there. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it wasn't little fam, but we're here for it.
It was a little what?
It wasn't little fam, but we're here for it.
Really? It seemed pretty little.
No, it was pretty pronounced. I mean,
As pronounced as your face?
I wouldn't go that far. My face is pretty extra, admittedly. Like I'm self-aware enough to know that much, but
And then you highlight it with that facial hair.
yeah.
But are you highlighting it or are you hiding it?
Ooh, you're really getting into the weeds there. And is that gonna go in? It is.
Should have hired a lawn guy. Oh my god. I'm so bored.
These picks just not coming in quick enough for your liking?
They never do.
I don't know. Maybe they should improve.
Their face and their pace.
That actually got me a little, I'm not gonna lie.
I'm amazed.
Fuck you, Beast.
Oh shit, the 49ers just traded up with the Vikings. I don't even know where the 49ers were picking in the first place. Were they like 29th? They were 31st because they lost the Super Bowl. First, and they just traded up to 25 with the Vikings. They already got Javon Kinlaw. What the fuck could they possibly want? Are they gonna get Mims or Chenault? Chenault! It's gonna be Chenault or McKinney. Or Delpit. It could be Delpit too. Chenault, McKinney, or Delpit or Mims. God, I'm not being very exact, am I? I'm sorry.
No, you're kind of all over the place, but that's why we love you.
Yeah, that's because I just don't know what they want to do. They're just obviously so bad from a process standpoint that they took Javon fucking Kinlaw 14th overall. I just don't know how they think anymore, as if I ever did in the first place. Maybe they're taking Ezra Cleveland. I like Ezra Cleveland, but like, do y'all really need another left tackle? What the hell? Bloop. Oh man. Hey, fuck you. I'll go wrong way. Whoops. That was on me.
That's all right.
This draft has been about 20% awesome, 80%. Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. This draft has been about 10% awesome, 20% good enough, 70% ass.
Nice. I mean, not really, but that delivery was pretty fucking quality.
I'll take it.
It's a shame, too, because, and I mean, that's where the 10% comes from. Because it seemed like it was really starting out hot.
San Francisco took Brandon Ayuk because we draft JUCO boys in the first round in San Fran. Oh my God. Hey, fuck you. Is that a good? Bad? No, that's bad. Man. Oh yeah, Ayuk is a yak guy. That does make sense. Ayuk is a screen yak boy with an eye. Where's Wes?
Yeah. That's not how things are spelled.
Fuck, I'm getting hungry. I should eat something.
You should.
For some cheese pretzels.
Yeah, my family, unexpectedly, I was fully prepared. I had come back from a hike and, was about to make my rice dish, as you know I'm prone to do. And they're like, "Oh, we're getting Chinese. What do you want?" So I got like vegetable soup and curry rice noodle. Curry rice noodle was
Ooh.
fucking bomb today too.
I've never had anything curry.
Dude, it's so good.
What is curry?
It's just really like a spice is the best way I could describe it.
Oh,
like
okay.
I don't. Yeah, it's like because I have an affinity for spicy food, but the way they've been making it lately and the smell today was fantastic. I was like, oh my god, this shit's fucking popping right now because I think they've put more scrambled egg in it than they used to. Which, like, at first I was, like, a bit mad about, but I don't know, it just really hit the spot.
Yeah, I've actually heard that eggs actually go pretty well with spice.
Yeah.
I have an uncle, not an uncle, a great uncle, like my dad's, I don't know, my dad's grandpa's brother or my dad's something like that. I don't know. An uncle or a grandpa or a great uncle or somewhere along those lines that puts hot sauce on their eggs.
I used to do that. When we would have hot sauce in the house, like, I'd actually make a point to eat eggs so I'd have a good base for my hot sauce.
Yeah, there you go. I guess my uncle or great uncle or whoever the fuck it is that does that on my dad's side of the family isn't the only one.
Yeah, just on that basis alone, congratulations. They're not a mark. Like, that's what you fucking do. All right.
Oh, man. I'm so ready for this draft to be over right now.
How many teams we have left?
Like 7 or 8.
Jesus Christ, we'll be here another 3 hours at the rate these picks are coming in.
Oh, it feels like it, right? That was kind of brutal. Wow! Just blow me up, beast, why don't you?
I'll avenge you, maybe? Hooray!
Yay! That was adorable. You're so uncertain of yourself. I'll avenge you, maybe!
I really didn't know, because from my position, it seemed like they were running a goal, but Heater was like, nah, I'm going to get freaky on this wall here.
I always get wound for the draft. Wound tight like a yo-yo.
Holy shit.
I know. Let's see here. Since the first 5 seasons, he's talking about Bleach. Packers are up in 5 picks. Packers trade up with someone, please. You're going to be the last team to get their first pick. Chief and the Packers aren't going to be the last team to get their first pick because there are teams that don't have first-round picks. Like the Bears and the Steelers and the Rams. Abel said, I see Ravens. I guess the Ravens are on the horizon. And then the chieftain said, I have a craving for Chinese food, but unfortunately my local...
I know. I want Chinese.
You know, you just interrupted me while I was reading the comment. She's been so whiny lately because Chen's house, the local Chinese joint that we go to, has been closed for the corona thing.
I just love that you got your pimp voice on. You know you just interrupted me, right? Oh.
Anyway, Chiefin said, I have a craving for Chinese food, but unfortunately my local Chinese restaurant is closed until the pandemic is over, and I haven't had one in nearly 2 months. That's exactly the same exact situation my mom was just complaining about.
God, I was so close to being in your guys' boat, but our Chinese place stayed open, so...
Oh, wow.
Sucks to
How
suck.
miraculous. He actually just said sucks to suck. We just got throwback again.
I guess we're playing... Hey, dude, we got 11-0 on this stage, which I think is the best game we've had all night, so...
Abel also said that the Patriots also don't have a first-round pick anymore, and that is also true. They traded out of the first round. They literally gave up the 23rd overall pick for a second and third round pick, and that's it. That's all they got in return.
Picking a team.
Apparently 2 + 3 = 1 in the New England Patriots world.
I fucking knew it!
That's how they win all the Super Bowls right there.
Fucking mathematicians being like, no, it's 5. Shut the fuck up! Lying asses.
Imagine trading a second and third round pick for a fifth round pick. That trade is such a disaster. I gave me the hiccups.
No, but if we go later, we get better picks. That's how it works.
I mean, yeah, because then all the other teams have filtered out all the bad players for you.
Coach Steve knows what's up.
I'm not trying to take all these players from all these other teams. I'm a nice guy. Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh no. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you. Oh fuck.
Jesus.
I just had a little bit of a spill yesterday where I stepped on one of my grandpa's shoes and thought it was a cat, so I tried not to stomp all the way down on it so I wouldn't hurt it, and I ended up just falling to the ground, and it ended up my thighs.
Oh wow! What a sequence!
What a journey, right?
Yeah.
One would even say it was an incredible journey.
Oh no! This cat! I have to protect it. Falls a shoe. No.
Well, shit. I rolled my ankle too, but that's a much better by today. God damn it. Fuck you, Nick Saban.
There's just something about that story that's so quintessentially you. That's amazing.
My inherent need to protect animals, yeah.
Yeah.
My oddly light on my feet for my statureness. I don't know what you call that.
Maybe gracefulness.
I wouldn't call it graceful, but I mean, if you want to go there for sure, yeah, fine. I'm glad it wasn't a cat. Let's just put it that way, because I don't know if I would have actually saved its life by lifting up when I did. And we're never going to have to find out, because it's not going to happen again.
Hooray!
I vow from this point on to watch where I walk.
That's a pretty heavy vow to make.
Oh, come on, man. That was such a layup.
Oh, please. Mister, that's gonna go in, hits the rim.
What's the matter with a rim job?
Ooh. Didn't think we'd be having these kinds of conversations.
Andrew!
Oh, God.
We're close to the end of the series, by the way. We're caught up, not at the end, but
Hooray!
we're in like the tail end of season 3.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here we go. The Packers pick is in. Oh! Oh! Wow, Green Bay. What a trash bin of a pick. Oh, man. That's just such a throwaway. God. Well, there you go, Chiefin. The Packers are investing in the future with a terrible quarterback.
Chiefin's like, I waited all this time for that?
Are you aware that you're a piece of shit, Maverick? I don't think he is.
Somebody should let them know.
Yes. Wait, the Packers didn't just pick Jordan Love. They traded up for Jordan Love. Chief Griffin, bro, you might want to secede from the Union, brother.
Damn.
And by the Union, I mean Packers fandom. Aaron Rodgers is not going to take this well. Holy shit. Man, what a dumpster truck of a pick.
So I guess we're clearly seeing which teams have kind of blown it today.
So far. Oh my god. Oh man. Would you like to know something fun?
Sure.
I'm going to go through all the picks in this Discord that I'm in and tell you how many Fs each pick got, right?
Okay.
So, number 1 overall pick, Joe Burrow to the Bengals, got 4 Fs.
Okay.
Just for a frame of reference, it got 175 A's. So, like, this isn't just like 10 people voting and 4 of them said F. This is a fuck ton of people that are voting.
Right.
Like a couple hundred. Chase Young to the Redskins got 5 Fs. Okuda to the Lions got 3. Andrew Thomas to the Giants got 2. Tua to the Dolphins got 3. Herbert to the Chargers got 11. Derek Brown to the Panthers got 5. Simmons to the Cardinals got 4. CJ Henderson to the Jags got 9. Jedrick Wills to the Browns got 4. Mekhi Becton to the Jets got 6. Ruggs to the Raiders got 12. Wirfs to the Bucks got 3. Kinlaw to the 49ers got 4. I'm really tempted to make that an F, actually. Judy, yeah, I am going to make that an F. Fuck it. Judy to the Broncos got 4. AJ Terrell to the Falcons got 18 Fs. CeeDee Lamb to the Cowboys got 5. Austin Jackson to the Dolphins got 13. Damon Arnett to the Raiders got 84.
Oh my god.
Most people had him as like a 5th round pick. And they got him in the 1st. Kayvon Chasen to the Dolphins got 3. Jalen Reagor got 13 to the Eagles. Justin Jefferson to the Vikings got 2. Kenneth Murray to the Chargers got 5. Cesar Ruiz to the Saints got 3. Brandon Ayuk to the 49ers got 15. And Jordan Love to the Green Bay Packers, which is the most recent pick and has only been voted on a grand total of like 70 times, as opposed to the couple hundred that most of the other picks have been voted on, already has 37 Fs.
Damn.
It already has the second most Fs, and it's only been up for like 5 minutes. It's only been voted on by like a third of the number of people that will probably end up voting on it in total.
Damn.
Seahawks pick is in. All right. Tokyo Underpass. Let's kill this.
All right, let me get my battery pack in, and we can do this.
Man, this Kirk Herbstreit guy's a real creeper.
Gonna pick a team.
Great job, man.
Thank you.
Honestly, Abel, if Xavier McKinney makes it to the Ravens, he's probably the pick. Not that I necessarily like the pick, but it's just such a Ravens pick. God damn it. Great job, man. Great job, man. Damn.
Hell yeah.
Who'd the Hawks pick? Yeah, the Ravens pick after the Seahawks. Seattle Seahawks select Jordan who? Jordan Brooks. Oh, the Texas Tech linebacker. Okay. I mean, I don't hate it, but I don't love it either. It's not exactly what I would call a high value pick, but it's a thing. At least they didn't take a running back. Oh, God. What if the Ravens take Jonathan Taylor?
Of the non-Thomas variety?
I love you. I don't know how nobody has ever put that together in the draft community before.
See, this is what they're missing out on by me not really buying into football. They could have had these gems, but they lost. You get them, though, and that's really all that matters.
That is all that matters. I don't give a fuck about them. They suck.
Yes. I've been waiting for you to say something along those lines about just any group of people. I mean, we also would have accepted boomers, which I'm pretty sure you've done that too. Oh, yeah. And it didn't disappoint.
Oh, man. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, I missed. I mean, I didn't miss, but I missed my shot. I didn't miss the ball. I just aimed shot. Yeah. What the hell?
I don't know what's happening. The feeling.
Here you go, Abel. Abel, the Ravens. They're on the clock. They're on the clock. The clock. Abel, the Ravens are on it. Hope they don't blow this one.
Yeah, Abel, I I was really rooting for them, to go all the way last season because of your face. And I'll do the same again because of your face, but they need to start doing the fucking work.
I mean, it's going to be a while.
I love how I'm overly dramatic about it, and you're like the somber doctor getting ready to tell somebody the cancer's spread. You don't have much time.
Oh yeah, my bedside manner is atrocious.
I know you were hoping for good news. I don't have any.
I know you were hoping for good news, but I guess that just goes to show you how helpful hope is.
But now that I have this terminal disease, what do I do? Well, look, I'm going to shoot straight with you here. I was talking with my colleagues. Now, my number one piece of advice was just to not have the disease.
Oh my God.
They didn't seem to think that was a good idea to go with.
But I know that this seems tragic, but there is a way out of it. Oh my God, Doc, how do I get out of it? You just stop having cancer.
Yeah. And then the next darkest answer would have been, well, the United States, or insert country here, Supreme Court, actually decided in favor of assisted suicide. So, options. It's just like you just leave them with that.
God, I'm going so dark so quickly.
That's going in.
You said that shit with fucking determination.
Yeah, I didn't even try. You can even see here. I said it's going in. I didn't even bother to chase it. I'm like, no, it's happening.
God damn it.
Oh, God. God, no wonder you want me at these things. I'm a firecracker. I'm so fun at parties. Nice job.
See, I'm their entertainment, and you're my entertainment.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, man.
Oh, man, Abel, that would be a disaster. He sucks.
What did Abel say?
He thinks they draft Queen. Patrick Queen. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
God damn it. Stop it.
No.
Keep inciting giggle laughs. Or giggle fits, I should say.
Turning up with Ashton because he is analyzing the draft. Yeah. I made a song for you. You're welcome.
I hope you expect me to say thank you, because I won't.
Wow. Bitch. So, since we're in between games, I have a question for Abel. Abel, when was the last time I sent you hug stickers on Facebook, and why is the answer right fucking now? That's gonna just take a moment to process, and then BAM! Yes! All right. All right, I'm gonna ready up.
Can I ready up with your face?
Hell yeah!
I mean, why don't you?
Yeah.
I got a weird thing for hair. I'm a dork. I'm a mom.
God, you'd think all that time taking cold showers ogling Elias would give you time to reassess. Gotta get on that face game. Nah, she says.
Great job, bud.
Damn right it was. Let's watch it again in slow motion.
How do we access slow motion in this?
Well, it's just gonna slow down right when it hits the goal. Well, it was supposed to. I don't know.
Yeah, but it didn't, though.
I feel like you can actually do that if you save the replay, actually.
Yeah, you can.
God, I should go back and watch some of our really, like, amazing games and be like, I remember that.
Back in the day when we weren't awful.
Yeah. You think that if you're constantly playing, you can never get worse? Wrong.
You challenge that notion.
Challenge, it's so good.
Great job, bud.
Thanks, friend.
Here we go. Ravens pick. Patrick. Oh, they did take Queen. Yikes. That's a big old oof. Sorry, Abel.
Oh, no.
Wow, you just got wrecked.
Not as bad as the Ravens, apparently.
No fucking way. Holy shit, I did it. Bro, that was a 4 corners kickoff, and I fucking scored off of it.
Amazing.
Never before, and probably never again.
Yes, savor the flavor.
Abel said, BRB gonna go cry.
If it makes you feel any better, you're beautiful when you cry also, which is probably why I'm also abusive.
And also, if it makes you feel any better, it's still a better pick than the Packers.
Oh, man.
Titans on the clock. Here we go, Titans. John Robinson gonna make a genius pick. Tyler Johnson. No. LaVisca Chenault. No. Who's fast? Darnell Mooney. Ooh. Jalen Hurts to Tennessee would be sexy as fuck. Fuck your sideline to sideline bullshit. He's just fast. That's all he has. He is a fast linebacker. That is his one singular redeeming quality, is that he is fast.
God, really, if we weren't talking about football, I'd be like, yeah, keep bodying Barry Allen. I don't know if you can run that fast, Barry. Shut the fuck up. That's literally what the show is about.
Is that in? Great job, man. That felt incredible. Excuse me.
I would hope so.
That was intense. And I'm not even camping. God damn it. Ooh. Yeah. Thought you were going to steal that from under me.
I mean, kind of.
I definitely think my favorite pick was Tua going at 5. I passed it back to you. Now pass it back to me, and I score.
Would have been hilarious if I overshot it there. Just had this whole thing going.
That wouldn't have been funny at all. That would have been awful. That would have struck the wrong kind of nerve. The make me grumpy nerve.
Yeah.
John's just like, oh, I do that sometimes.
I do.
Oh, go, 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 go. Oh, you got it? Kind of, but not really. You just know there are Packers people, or just people in general, like draft analysts in general out there that are just like, Packers are geniuses. They struck gold. The Lightning struck twice. This is the same exact situation that they got Aaron Rodgers in. Jordan Love is going to develop behind Rodgers and turn out to be an amazing player. It's just like, but what if he doesn't, though? Then you just wasted an entire.
Your laughter at their misfortune is amazing.
I mean, maybe they should consider sucking less. I'm just saying.
And that's kind of unfair to put on Aaron Rodgers if this guy really is a bust. Like, don't put that on me. I'm going to worry about my damn self. Like,
oh, Abel wants to know how many Fs the Ravens pick got in the Discord. That pick hasn't even been put up yet, brother. The Discord is slow tonight. I will say, though, the Seahawks pick Jordan Brooks got 56. So that's kind of hilarious. Oh. That's going to go in, isn't it? Fuck me. Blame me. My fault.
that's okay, bud. We all make mistakes, and that's why pencils come with erasers.
Wow.
That was a really good episode of Rick and Morty, actually.
Just wow. Oh, they're going to score again. Oh, wow, they didn't. I'm genuinely shocked. That's in. Oh, babe. Listen to you.
Listen to me. Listen to me listening to your face.
My face is exceptional.
I mean, that wasn't even the debate.
I didn't know there was a debate. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Who's debating?
I don't even know.
Which team should I be rooting for? Oh, that was an amazing shot, dude. Look at that. Was so good. Isaiah Wilson. What team did Isaiah Wilson just go to? What the fuck? What the fuck?
You want a kickoff here? You're gonna be good.
Oh, I guess he went to the Titans. But it had the Ravens logo there. Did the Ravens trade up for Isaiah Wilson? I'm so fucking confused. No kidding, I'm not paying attention. I'm playing Rocket League.
That emphasis. What the fuck?
You loved it. You know it.
I mean, I'm a pretty shameless slut right now for that emphasis. Like, that was so unnecessary. You sounded like some kind of 90s cartoon. Like, fucking, I don't know, taking the Boy Scouts out on, like, a fucking trip. We're the Rocket Rangers, everybody.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Like, what the fuck? What are you even... Do you know where you are right now? Like, what is happening?
I'm up my ass.
Oh, God. This would be like, oh my God, I kind of want it now. It's so horrifying. This would be like if you put Joe Biden's brain in the body of a young man. I don't know what's happening, but I feel fucking great.
I would say your face right now, but all I can think to say is, you know the thing.
Just remember to leave the record player on at night, or so help me God.
He's old.
Dude, he, like, no lie, he really fucking is. Like, it's a problem.
You made me miss that shot. I was laughing too hard.
Oh, fuck you. You knew it was gonna happen. God, dude, honestly. Oh, Jesus. I know we gave up 2 goals, but that was a really good game for us. I don't know if we're going to do better than that. We got 16 points. We each got 8
I mean, what are we
goals
gonna
that game,
do?
dude.
Call it? It's not like we have anything else that we can do. Jeez.
Wait, let's see. Wait, Bestie, did you send me something? Because I got your message reminding me.
Send it to you in a minute.
Okay.
Picture in a
Okay.
minute.
Hey, your mom's providing content. See? There are other things to do.
No, there isn't. She's not providing us with something to
You
do.
send an MHTML.
I don't know.
God, Ashton, I'm not going to lie. You're really exposing yourself right now. Not knowing stuff. That's
You know
not a
what?
good
I just
look,
took my
man.
glasses off. Do you want me to expose you right now, sir?
I mean, what's the context?
Hey, Ashton, I'm coming to you.
Oh God,
I want to send
this stream's gone sideways.
page.
Oh.
Yeah, I want to. That's why I'm saying I don't know how.
Oh, I see. Oh, because it's on Instagram. Well, if it's on Instagram, you can just copy the URL.
I'm saying you know this stuff and I don't. You're a smart cookie.
There you go, John.
Hooray! Hooray! Oh my God, that's precious.
I
it's
forget. I know that the anteater was giving itself a rim job, basically. Horse giving itself a blowjob?
I mean, unintentionally, yes. Which is why this pick is more precious, because the tail is going in an appropriate orifice. Thank goodness.
Don't you mean the mouth is consuming an appropriate appendage?
Touche, sir.
Whoa! ASMR John is never okay.
Alright, I'm picking
What
team.
the fuck?
You know what, man? It's already gotten weird, and you fucking made it that way. So either take the accountability or just pick a goddamn team.
I'm not picking a team. You can fuck off with your bot partner.
Wow. You know what? I will. Let's see who they fucking put me with. Yeah, and then you picked. You fucking caved. The records show on Twitch. He caved first. I knew
won this argument.
it. Exactly. Question my unhealthiness in the relationship. Fuck you. I'll sabotage this whole goddamn thing. I'll kill us
They're gonna
both.
score. They're not.
God, it's a comfort to me that you're just as bad at predicting it when they're gonna score as when you're gonna score. That's a relief.
Oh, yeah, that's such a funny shtick. Oh my god.
Ashton's like, I'm so tired of your shit.
Are we having a good night?
I think so.
Uh,
Do you?
Sure.
You sounded really sarcastic there. I don't know if I appreciate the tone.
are we gonna solicit my opinion on this?
No.
Okay, I love that. That was great. You don't get a turn.
Oh my god, that evil laugh. Oh my god, it's
He snorted on stream. Yes. Oh my god. I don't even care if we don't put up a single fucking point. Best game of Rocket League ever. In public. Oh my god. Oh god, this is a whole other kind of tilting for you right now. Oh jeez.
Excuse me.
Ashton. You need to start closing your mouth when you burp. You're like pig.
Yeah, Ashton Michael, have some manner.
I mean, I already snorted. What's the difference?
That is true. If he's making some sounds, he might as well make all of the sounds.
I don't
Jeez.
care. It's still piggish.
Pigs are clean.
Yeah, pigs get a bad rap, honestly.
It's not their fault they can't fucking sweat.
Is that true? Pigs can't sweat?
Yeah,
Huh.
man. That's why they gotta roll around in mud and shit.
Huh. Well, TIL.
They have no sweat glands.
But can they have sweatbands?
Yeah, sure. I think didn't Mabel put those on the pig in Gravity Falls at one point? I forget.
Probably. That show was so good. You left me? Oh no, I left you actually. That was an accident. How the hell did that happen?
I guess I'm leaving the match.
Oh god damn it, now I got Gerwin. You left me with a nerd.
Hey, you left me with the nerd first, sir. That was nothing short of revenge.
But I was contrite about it, dickface.
I don't even know what
Fine.
that means right now.
Well, that shocks no one. Christ. I'm gonna get us in a new game.
You're mean.
I know I am, okay? It's a problem because I'm deeply rooted emotional insecurity. God, we haven't had any new messages in a while. Are any of you even still watching this shit?
We still have 6 people here.
Why do I see the counter as 10? Why is Twitch lying to me right now?
It's lying to one of us. I don't know if it's you. What? Okay, so one of the viewers is her. Oh, now I see it as 10. I see it as 10 now.
Thank God.
Wow, you were really insecure about our viewership there. I'm almost impressed.
Don't call me out accurately in front of people right now,
I'm
okay?
you know what? I'm just happy to know that you're that invested in our success.
Abel, I'm still here. I'm just listening. Oh, look at Abel not contributing while this self-destructs right in front of him. Does that feel good, Abel? Oh, actually, he did reply to my hugs, though, so that's good. I'll let you have it.
I picked a team. I'm waiting for you.
Wow. Clearly, I was emotionally involved in other things, sir. Maybe, I don't know, if you're not going to read a thesaurus, read the room.
Oh, Coach Steve. We literally just with a superpower episode.
Yeah.
When, like, Nick could grow big and Andrew could fart himself invisible and...
Oh, yeah.
All that shit.
Jesse
could get people to tell the truth by touching them, yeah. And, like, Coach Steve was like, and since my superpower is reading rooms, I'm gonna put best friends Nick and Andrew with each other.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
This has been one crazy draft, I'll tell you.
went to Dolphins.
Noah! Oh, the Dolphins draft is so good.
So the Dolphins might have actually had the kind of draft I was talking about earlier where you want to be consistent all the way through and not just, like, muddy the waters after the first pick.
Dude, the Dolphins got Noah I. The guy whose name I can't pronounce.
Yeah, what position does he play again?
Corner. He's a CB. He's a coverage guy.
Nice.
So they got a quarterback, they got a tackle to protect him, and they got a... Oh, holy shit. Coverage is sick right now. They already had Xavier Howard. They just signed Byron Jones, who's amazing. And now they just went out and drafted Noah I. This Dolphins coverage unit is lit AF.
Nice.
Oh my God. I'm really excited about the Dolphins this year now. Mom's eating beef jerky and it smells. I don't know how. It doesn't even have a nose. Must you? God damn it. Wow.
Oh, no! Oh, fuck it.
Man. Almost like I had offense under control. We could have used a goalie there. Started as such a sincere laugh, and then you got it under control and intentionally made it sound fake.
Actually, no, it was fake the whole time, but, you know.
Oh, I'm sure you want me to believe that.
Well, wow.
What did you say, Mom?
Both of his parents are Olympians.
Noah? He's really good. I mean, Javaris, not necessarily all the way around, but they did draft a left tackle for him at least, so that's a good start. Is that in? Good job, bud. 2, 2, 2, 2. And boom. Oh, shit. Fuck off. You are so giggly tonight.
Shut your face hole, sir.
Get your hands off of my eye holes. Oh my god. I can't handle you when you get like this.
Wow, okay.
That's it? Just wow, okay?
I mean, just nice to know what your threshold is.
My threshold is somewhere between giggle soup and giggle chowder.
Wow.
Yep, Vikings are 31st overall. They were the ones that the 49ers traded up. Oh, Vikings pick is in. Minnesota Vikings select Jeff Gladney. Okay, yeah, he's old. Fuck him. I don't actually hate Jeff Gladney, but he's like going to be 24 this year. And that's like a big time red flag for prospects. So my interest dwindles. I mean, yeah, he might have had an injury, but he didn't have to wait that long to come out. When? Did it say when? In high school? That doesn't affect your college career.
It does when you can't go to college to be in football.
For 9 months? Because that's how long it takes to recover from an ACL.
Which is something else besides that.
Even if it cost him his entire freshman year, that's what red shirts are for, and you can still declare as a redshirt junior.
Maybe he wanted to play all 4 years.
He could have still graduated as a redshirt junior without having to play 4 years of football.
Did you hear what I said?
Yes. I just reject it.
No, you did.
Because it's obviously not true. I mean, I shouldn't say not true. I should say not necessary. It's obviously not necessary. He didn't have to play 4 years of football. And if he wanted to, that's his choice, but also that makes him a worse draft prospect. Maybe he should have educated himself
Oh, shit.
rather than spending all that time in college.
He would have gone to college and been a redshirted
Freshman?
freshman, and then he would have missed out on a year of.
You still get to go to school as a redshirt.
I know that. But then
You just don't
he
play.
would have missed out on a year of experience in football.
So?
So that's what this whole thing is about. Football.
Mom, there are a lot of guys that only play 1 or 2 years in college before they go to the NFL. You don't need 4 years of college football experience to be good in the NFL. In fact, the best players in the NFL are the ones that had the least amount of experience in college. Players who declare early are the best players.
Because they just want to give their best years on the big leagues, right?
Pretty much, yeah. Plus, like, if they know they're going to get drafted early, why would they stay in college and not get paid?
True.
Fuck the NCAA.
Yeah, with their horrible fucking track record with student athletes.
Yeah. Student athletes.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Carmen. Oh, yeah, the Chiefs are on the board. Or on the clock, I should say. The last pick of this first round. Dude, the ABC broadcast is actually visualizing the prestige bias that's being had in the NFL right now, live as we speak. They just showed a graphic showing the most players selected in the SEC per draft, and this year is a new high at 14 players from the SEC being selected.
Oh, wow.
And the SEC is considered like the toughest conference in college football, so that's prestige bias thing. The bigger schools, the you know, the LSUs and the Alabamas and the Floridas and the Georgias, you know, the what else? What am I forgetting? Mississippi State, Mississippi, Tennessee. Oh, server went down for maintenance. You know what, though? That's a good time for us to kind of call it as far as our gameplay goes, because there's only one pick left, and they only have 3 minutes left on the clock, and it'll be the end of the first night, and we can actually end this stream then.
All right.
Abel said Travis Etienne should have declared this year. Javaris saying SEC has 14 picks in the first round. SEC dominance, baby. Yeah. Again, though, like John brought up earlier, it's more prestige bias than actual dominance.
Hooray!
I mean, after all, the LSU Tigers just had an incredible year. They won the national championship and all that. But I don't know if that's going to last very long, because they lost the two biggest ingredients that made them so dominant last year, that being the offensive coordinator Joe Brady to the Panthers and quarterback Joe Burrow to the Bengals. No, I mean Joe Brady. Yeah. Yeah. Yep, Andy Reid. Still wearing his Hawaiian shirt because that's what you do when you win a Super Bowl. I love it. I'm so happy for Andy. So cool. Him and Patrick. Yeah. Dude, Patrick Mahomes won a Super Bowl in his third year. Oh.
Damn.
And it wasn't fluky at all. It wasn't even his best career season so far.
Damn.
He had a better season in 2018 than he had in 2019. But he was just the team overall was better in 2019, so that's why they were able to win the Super Bowl. Because the quarterback isn't the only thing, it's just the biggest thing. Like, it's you need a good team to win the Super Bowl. A quarterback is just the easiest way to get you there.
Right.
Yeah, Javaris, I didn't expect Jalen Hurts to go in the first round. I will say, though, the Patriots trading out of the first round almost tells me that maybe they are interested in grabbing Hurts at the bottom of the second. Or I guess at the top of the second, I should say. At the beginning of the second. Pick is in. Chiefs pick is in. Jeff Gladney's already gone. I wonder if they'll take like a Grant Delpit since they don't have Eric Berry anymore. That actually would be a really good pick for them. I'm honestly disappointed that Grant Delpit has even lasted this long. He's too good of a player to not get picked in the first round. Although I guess we've already kind of discussed it. So is Jalen Hurts. Oh, another possible player here at 32 is Jonathan Taylor. And Abel, I know you're here. If the Chiefs pick a running back here, if it's Taylor, Swift, or Dobbins, he's my first overall pick in the Gridiron Guild Dynasty League. So that makes this really easy. Especially if it's Jonathan Taylor, because Jonathan Taylor is my RB1 in this class. So if he goes to a team like the Chiefs, that's an easy pick at 1 overall. Here we go. Kansas City, 32nd overall pick. Delpit. The Kansas City Chiefs select. Oh, of course, he had to get in there. They were Super Bowl champions. Oh, they picked CEH. Son of a bitch. Abel, don't chalk it down just yet. I'm going to wait until the end of tomorrow to make my pick. God damn it. Of course he snuck into the first round. God fucking damn it. You know what? I wanted a pulpit to talk about my problem with drafting running backs like this early. This is the perfect time for me to do it. I know we were planning on getting out of here, but I have something that I want to say, so I might as well just use now as an opportunity to say it. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a good receiver. I'm not going to deny that. The issue is the type of receiver that he is isn't valuable. The thing that's valuable in the NFL is downfield passing, not behind the line of scrimmage passing, not 1 or 2 yards down the field passing, 10 to 20 yards down the field is the absolute green area. It's like the optimal zone that you want to pass in. And if you need to pass to your running back, or if you feel like you want to pass to your running back, you want them to be able to run routes in that range to throw it to them. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is not that dude. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is the dude that comes out of the backfield, that runs wheels, that runs, quick, like screen type passes. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is a good receiving running back, but he's not a great one. He's good, not great. He's good in the sense that he's a really good pass catcher. He has good, reliable hands. He's always open because he's usually catching his passes behind the line of scrimmage, and he's pretty good after the catch, but he's not a great receiving running back because, like I said, most of his work is done behind the line of scrimmage or around the line of scrimmage. The great receiving running backs are guys like Le'Veon Bell, Duke Johnson, David Johnson, Tevin Coleman, dudes that can run routes like a slot receiver. That is what you want out of a great receiving running back. Jerick McKinnon even does that. So that's what you want out of a great receiving running back. Clyde Edwards-Helaire does not do that. So I'm not a fan of the pick for the Chiefs. I'm hoping that a really good team picks Jonathan Taylor and or J.K. Dobbins and or DeAndre Swift tomorrow. Very disappointed that none of those three guys went as the first running back taken. Very disappointed that Clyde Edwards-Helaire was, but I also it's one of those really frustrating things where Clyde Edwards-Helaire, again, he's like this sort of James White type receiving back where he's like a screen guy and like a swing pass guy and maybe like a wheel route occasionally kind of guy, but he's not a dynamic receiving back. He's not a guy that's going to run routes. He's not a guy you want to split out wide. He's not a guy that you want to put in the slot and have him run against a slot corner or a safety. He's just not that kind of guy. He's not that kind of receiver. And he's not all that fast, so he's not going to like take a bunch of, short passes for touchdowns or anything like that. I just if you needed to pick the guy, the running back that is going to be the best receiver, 32nd overall, why not take a risk on a guy like Antonio Gibson? Antonio Gibson, who played a lot of wide receiver at Memphis, who looks like a freakish athlete, who is young as hell, who has great size. The dude's 6 foot, almost 230 pounds. He's a route runner. He's like, if A.J. Brown wasn't as good of a wide receiver as he was, A.J. Brown would have been a great running back, but he's a great receiver, so it's a waste to use him as running back. Antonio Gibson is that guy. Antonio Gibson isn't a great wide receiver, but he's got the same skill set as an A.J. Brown type receiver, so just use him as a running back, and he's an amazing value. But no, let's just go with the fucking boring 5'7" guy that catches passes out of the backfield and takes him 5 yards. Fucking hell. I'm disappointed. I'm sorry for the rant. I wanted to close tonight out on a good note, but disappointed in the Chiefs. That being said, though, John, any final thoughts before we close out of here?
No, this is one of the more interesting drafts, at least on our end, because I just completely turned up, and it definitely got silly in parts, so I enjoyed it. Hope you all enjoyed it, too. I don't think you can leave likes on Twitch, so I guess just subscribe and follow. Keep up with us in our Twitch content. And, I'm just going to hand it back over to you.
Yep, all right. We hope that you all enjoyed. Probably not. Actually, I probably will put this up over on YouTube just to kind of maintain the sort of consistency, because we've done it each of the last 2 or 3 years, so I figure why not just keep up the uploads. If you are here because it's TwitWow and you're a wrestling fan, we'll see you on Wednesday for NXT. Otherwise, I don't know what to tell you, because I don't know when we're going to do our next Rocket League stream. And if you're only here for the draft, then I guess I'll see you next year, because that's obviously the next time I'll be talking about the draft here. We hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you probably on Wednesday for NXT. And we hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you then. Remember to stay tuned.